A night in with MauLer and the drinker, getting trashed with the web-screen dictors. A cheap night cause I'm feeling kinda thrifty, got a 10-pack of beers and a bottle of whiskey. Hop off the cork, have a glass of wine, I feel safe, I'll be fine. Trouble walking in a straight line, but pour me a Pinot Noir. It's open bar with our hosts, MauLer and the critical drinker.
Alrighty there. I think that's our cue to get started. Woo!
Woohoo! Alcohol, movies, TV.
Yeah,
ready to go.
Usual stuff. Well, welcome everyone to Open Bar number 97. We're creeping ever closer to that big 100.
Oh my god,
it's getting close. I'm panicking, MauLer.
Oh jeez.
Yeah, 100 years of Open Bar. I don't know what to say, man. It's been quite the ride.
Not a bad run, you know.
I think we've done pretty well. Yeah, that in terms
Most
of
TV shows don't last 100 years. I'm just saying.
That is true. Yeah, that is true. A lot of countries don't last that long. So yeah, I think we consider ourselves lucky on that. Yeah, well, as has become kind of tradition on the Open Bar, would you guys like some pointless facts about 1997 since it's the year that we're set in right now?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, this one will make you happy. It was the year that Buffy the Vampire Slayer first aired.
Woo!
Apparently, yeah, that was where it all began.
Season 1 was real bad.
Yeah. Not as bad as the movie, though, to be fair.
That's true.
Also, in your sphere of influence, Wales voted in favor of devolution and got a national assembly. So there you go. That was where it all began.
We became cave people. We went back. We devolved.
You devolved, yeah.
We voted for it. You can do that.
It's like in the Mario Brothers movie, you know, when you just hit them with devolution. It was also the year in which Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone was first published. You know, you might have heard those Harry Potter books.
I remember that one. I know.
Apparently, they were quite popular at some point. I don't know. It's quite obscure, but you know.
Mm-hmm.
Also, the year Mike Tyson bit Evander Holyfield's ear off.
Yeah, well,
nice one, Mike. Yeah, well, you know, we all have our bad days. In terms of music, topping the charts in the UK was Missy Elliott, Chumbawamba, and the Spice Girls. So
who doesn't love Chumbawamba?
It's quite the time. Also, just in case you're curious, for movies, you might have heard of this film that was out in 97. It was Titanic. It was the biggest movie of the year at $1.8 billion, which it must have been insane back then. I mean, you know, adjust that for inflation, it's like 20 trillion by today's money. But yeah, that was biggest movie of the year by far. But it was also the year that gave us Jurassic Park: The Lost Worlds, which was a really disappointing follow-up, and I wish they hadn't made it. But never mind, it was okay.
Yeah,
made a lot of money. Men in Black, Tomorrow Never Dies, and Air Force One. That was the top 5 movies of the year.
I know them, yeah.
I mean, I'm kind of surprised Air Force One was in there, to be honest, because, you know, it was a decent action movie, but I didn't think it would be the top 5 for the entire year, but there you go. Apparently it was. It also gave us The Full Monty, Gattaca, Donnie Brasco, Good Will Hunting, LA Confidential, and The Fifth Element. So, some good movies out that year.
Absolutely.
And just in case you were curious about video games, the biggest games of the year were Grand Theft Auto, Final Fantasy VII. You might have heard that I kind of like that game, but you know.
Oh, yeah.
I've talked about it once or twice. GoldenEye, Tekken 3, and Gran Turismo. So it was a pretty good year for gaming as well, to be fair. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was also the year of crushing disappointment for me because I was waiting for Resident Evil 2 and then it got delayed by an entire year. So, you know, I'm still bitter about that.
My doorbell is going. 1 second.
Well, that's probably a good opportunity to bring in the rest of the bar. So, our first guest here, making his return from the land of EFAP, is MetalCommander. Welcome back, man.
Oh, I have returned. Not in the bathroom, as we tend to meme when I'm back here from the German lands.
Well, that's it. You can be my honorary co-host for the next couple of minutes while MauLer deals with his doorbell. Hopefully, it's not the police around to get him again. You know, get a bit tired of that.
Yeah, every time I'm over there, there's like police there like 3 times a day. It's like
definitely not your fault or anything.
No. I'm a peaceful German.
Yeah. Well, anyway, man, thanks for coming back. It's good to have you.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Always good times.
Yeah. We've also got Reaper joining us this evening. Welcome back to the bar, my friend.
Hi.
I love how you're so effusive. Just can't get enough. No, well, anyway, I'll move on from that one. And last up, we've got Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers. Welcome
Hello.
back,
Good to be here on a show. Unlike Hollywood shows, this one actually gets better the longer it goes.
Hey,
So
nice.
that's
nice.
that's nice. That's nice. So yeah, happy to be back. And I hear we're going to talk about this person, Kathleen Kennedy. I'm not familiar with her, so you guys will have to catch me up on. I guess there's some controversy around her, but I don't really know about that one.
You're normally so shy and retiring about stuff like that, but I think we can coax a few comments out of you about it. But yeah, not to worry, we'll get to that bit, and we'll guide you through what she's been saying recently. But
yeah, I'm going to need some help on that one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we'll help you out. Is everything okay for you, MauLer?
Yeah, I thought it was Lucasfilm, but it was just a delivery that was meant for tomorrow. So I mean,
Okay.
better.
Well, anyway, we're here, ready to start, and I guess the first thing I wanted to cover was the fact that Furiosa came out just barely even a week ago and massively underperformed in its opening weekend. I think they were initially projecting something like 70, 80 million for its Memorial Day opening weekend. Ended up coming in at like 31 million. So way underperforming. And I think it's now, according to Box Office Mojo, it's sitting at about 68 million worldwide against a budget of 160 million. So I think it's fair to say this movie is at the very least going to underperform seriously and possibly just be an all-out bomb. And
It's going to lose hundreds of millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Hundreds of millions.
Yeah.
And it's kind of joining the ranks of so many other movies recently, like The Fall Guy. Like what was the other one that was out that kind of underperformed?
You talking about If and Planet of the Apes?
Planet of the Apes, that was it.
Planet of
Yeah.
the Apes, yeah.
So, all like relatively crowd-pleasing movies with a sort of a proven track record, at least in Planet of the Apes case, all underperforming. And I guess I'm kind of wondering why. Like whether this points to like a bigger problem for the summer movie season ahead, and just I don't know, are people just not interested in movies at the moment?
Well,
I think people
there's like a couple of things. Oh yeah, there's like a couple of things. Like in general, people are not really going to the movies that much in general since the COVID has happened and is over now.
Yeah.
Then Mad Max movie, which is not about Mad Max. I think there's a whole nother people who are like, I don't really care about other characters that much. I mean, Furiosa wasn't Fury Road, so I guess I'll go watch it maybe.
Yeah.
But then I think the biggest thing is they just release the movies 3 weeks after on digital nowadays. It's like, oh, they didn't do well in the first 2 days. We're just gonna release them in 3 weeks, and you can just watch them at home. And if I had the choice, and I'm not going to talk about them day one or something, it's like, I'm just going to wait and just watch them on my telly, on my couch, and actually pause the movie and go have a leak because the movie is 17 hours long every time.
I think that's a really fair point, actually, especially the streaming aspect of it. If you're going to make things available just literally within a matter of weeks, it's not even months now, it's weeks after the theatrical run. Yeah, what's the incentive? Unless it's some like crazy zeitgeist movie that everyone has to see, which it very rarely is. Yeah, people are just probably going to wait. Yeah, Barbenheimer. Yeah, people are probably just going to wait, and that's an interesting problem that I don't know how you get around. I mean, I know people have. Sorry,
the ticket prices are probably the main reason why, because you don't want to waste money on like a film that might be mid. Because Fury Road only got like 300 odd million.
Yeah, it wasn't a big hit.
And it was 9 years ago. So it's a prequel spin-off with female led, which most people, usually associate that with something terrible, of a film that came out nearly a decade ago. And the ticket prices are like 3 times what they were.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So and it's not just you got to take out your whole family. Then you've got to do something else. It's like over £100.
Yeah, there's so many layers to it. You go to the movies, like you just said, you spend a ton of money. Typically now, more than ever, you're dealing with some idiots on their phone in front of you that are distracting you because people are always on their phones. They're always checked out. And then there's just so much to it. Inflation's crazy right now with the economy. People just don't have as much money to spend. And I think the biggest factor is the loss in faith in Hollywood, generally speaking. Yes, there are some surefire things that people will go see because of momentum. Barbie and Oppenheimer are the classic examples of that. But used to, people would look at it and go, I'm a little 50-50 on this movie. I'm not sure. It looks pretty good. people used to tend to go see a movie they were on the fence on usually. Now they're typically like, if I'm on the fence, I'm probably not going to go see the movie because they've lost so much faith in the general public's trust. So that I think that there's multiple layers that play into this, but ultimately it's the quality of the product that we've been getting consistently for the past 5 to 8 years.
Yeah, I mean, I know the thing that a lot of people have seized upon is that like this is a very obviously female-led movie that has not done well, and there, you know, the narrative that some people have tried to build is like, this is the end of the girl boss, like it's just a sign that everyone's sick of it and nobody wanted this female-led movie. I don't know if that's strictly true, but it does make me wonder if there is an element of they've had a lot of bad female-led films over the past half decade or so, if not more in some cases. And I wonder if they are just more reticent about films like this now just because they've had some bad experiences.
Yeah, I mean, it's the girl boss thing. Like, look, we can sit here and say that, you know, girl boss, and that's a really meme kind of way to look at it. But when they are marketing something that you have to go see this movie because there's a woman in it and she's strong and powerful and you have to support women, that's going to turn off people. It doesn't mean you can't give people a movie with a woman lead in it. You just don't build around that. And plus, this is a male franchise. This is Mad Max. Yes, I know Fury Road. Everybody loved it. I hated that movie, but everybody seemed to love that movie. But it didn't. I think Reaper brought it up. It didn't. It was like nearly. I think it did like 375 million or something like that when it's all said and done at the box office, which is not a huge hit even for 10 years ago. But
yeah. I mean, kind of agree with that. It didn't do anywhere near as well as people. I think
the perception was that it did gangbusters at the box office, and it just didn't.
I think it just had a good word of mouth.
Yeah, I think its reputation kind of grew, maybe with home media as well. Like people became quite fond of it, and it just became this like this bit of a throwback to like the days of practical effects in action movies, where everyone just keeps raving about like, the action sequences are fantastic, and they did a lot of their own stunts and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I think there's probably more CGI than people give it credit for, but you know, it still looked really good, and it was a pretty good, fun movie.
I recently. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was just finishing up there. So
okay, because I recently just watched all the Mad Max movies because I was like a Mad Max noob. I only watched Fury Road years ago. I was like, oh yeah, it was kind of fun. And like coming up to Fury Road, I was like, oh, you know what? I'm just gonna watch all of them. The first one is a wild movie. I didn't know what I was in for. That was crazy.
Super low budget.
Then Road Warrior, love that one. Road Warrior is great.
Yeah.
Thunderdome. I still don't know what I want to think about that one. That is another weird one.
The Tina Turner casting was a bit of an odd choice. Yeah.
But every time it's like all the practical stuff. It just all looks really cool. And then Fury Road was like this weird retelling, reboot, reimagination, but kind of isn't. And I was just confused when I came back to that one. But it was still fun. And so, kind of same with Furiosa. It's like, there's some fun stuff in there, but overall, it's like, yeah, I mean, it's a fun movie. Because just coming back to that, I think if it would be another climate for cinema, I think this would have done fine. Like if people would still go to the cinema like they used to. They're just like, oh yeah, it's like a little popcorn movie. You have a little action. It's going to be fun stuff. But yeah, I mean, I think there was like 10 people in my cinema.
Everything.
Before we go on, I just wanted to welcome Jedi Brooks to the panel as well. You kind of I stealthily brought you in there.
You should have just ignored them all stream.
I know. Let's see how long this could go. I'm totally fine. I'm the late comer. So I replied. You sent it to me when I was at work, and I'm literally holding a laser in my hand. So I replied and wrote.
This is more important.
Yes, I wrote that, and I noticed just before the stream started that you didn't get my reply. So I'm here, like ready to go. Like, oh shit.
yeah. That's okay. Well, I'm glad we were able to bring you in anyway.
And I didn't even realize there was that many of them. Like, I had never seen any Mad Max movie before, so I didn't know what the fuck was going on. So we'll get into that.
It's great that it's, as Metal like hinted at there, it all started with this low budget Australian post-apocalyptic thriller, like with Mel Gibson, who was a fucking unknown back then. And it's a cool little movie. You know, it's not a hugely complicated plot, but none of them are really. But I think Mad Max 2 is the one that really put the series on the map. That's the one everyone points to as like the awesome one that everyone remembers. The first one, it's kind of like, it's pretty obscure. The third one is just when it got too commercialized and disappeared up its own arse, I guess. and too Hollywoodized. And then there was just this huge gap where it just seemed like the franchise was dead and gone. Like who was going to make another Mad Max movie at that point? And then it's like 30 years later, we get this crazy sort of quasi reboot from the same director with a completely different actor playing Max, and that's how we ended up with Fury Road. And like you guys said, it wasn't a huge success financially, but people just keep pointing to it as like, wow, that movie was amazing. It reinvigorated the franchise. And I think if you were going to do a Furiosa spin-off, you probably should have released it within a couple of years. I think if you'd released it around 2017, 2018, when it was still like somewhat fresh in people's minds, you probably would have done a lot better.
I also feel like normally when we get these like, I don't know, like adjacent movies about other characters, they're normally like gap fillers until the next one comes out. And I think they're now working on a new Mad Max movie with Tom Hardy in it again. I think I heard. I'm not sure if that's true, but that's something I heard somewhere. So it's just weird because you would expect this to be like a gap filler to the next movie, and then it's like, oh, that was kind of neat.
I know what they did. Like they actually wrote the entire script for Furiosa and gave it to Charlize Theron so that she would know exactly what her character's backstory was and what she'd been through to help inform her performance, which is a cool idea. I love that, like kind of attention to detail and stuff. But I think the big problem was that George Miller was embroiled in a lawsuit with Warner Brothers for years and years. It just dragged on forever because the movie underperformed and he felt that he was not paid what he should have been given. And it just became this big protracted battle that delayed everything.
It's just a constant problem we're in. Any business that's ever existed that's been successful, ask one simple question: what's going to make us the most money? You know what's going to make you the most money? Put Mel Gibson in a fucking Mad Max movie at this point in time, and everybody's going to freak out over it. Are there going to be people that are crying about it and whining? Yes, you're still going to make a ton of money, and that's going to be the most successful project that you can get green light with this name and that story. Put Mad Max in it, and that's going to make you the most money, and they're not doing that. And again, yes, we like The Fall Guy. I really liked The Fall Guy. I had so much fun with that movie, but it's part of the overall problem in Hollywood is that people have lost trust to even go see something that might look good, but they're like, well, I'm not sure, and I don't want to spend this money, or I don't want to take this much time, and I'll just wait till it comes out on streaming or whatever. The Fall Guy was dumb fun. I had so much fun with the movie, but nobody went to see it because, again, overall faith has been lost.
I was having that same conversation with a friend yesterday about how like people, they really have to put in the work to earn people's attention to go to the theater. People aren't just going to go on the regular anymore. That whole, that routine of just like, hey, let's go see a movie. Nobody does that anymore. Like they have to actually earn it now. And it's really difficult to do that because they don't see it. Their idea, they've turned it into content, and like that's just ruined the artistic aspect of it.
I hate to ask this question. Well, yeah, I hate to ask this question, but it's part of the problem that we don't have any of the big franchise movies anymore. Like, we don't have any Star Wars movies that people used to go to the cinema to see. We don't have any MCU movies, realistically. We don't have any Star Trek movies. There's kind of nothing. And so all these like standalone films, like The Fall Guy, like I guess in some ways even the Planet of the Apes movie, because it's trying to kick off a new trilogy, so it's like a whole new story. Like, are people just not bothered for them? Like, is that just not enough to create any kind of event anymore?
I just don't think people want to pay for it, because on the streaming service Netflix, they went Rebel Moon, even though both of them are absolutely terrible, have been seen more than Barbie. I think they went one of the highest viewed things. Both Rebel Moon movies, by the way. Even after watching the first one, people watched the second one.
COVID and just streaming in general has just changed the entire dynamic of watching movies, because people know you can always get around to when it's on stream. With theaters, you have this small window, and they have to create enough hype, and like they have to, they have to earn that window. Because like I know when it comes to me, I'm not going to the theater unless there's actually something worth it, like -1, for example.
Yeah, well, it basically has to be a sure thing. Because when you went to see a Marvel movie, you knew exactly what you were getting, and you could take the whole family. But like Furiosa could have been a massively horrible movie, but it's kind of, you don't want to waste the money, you don't want to take the risk, especially when you got a whole family.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you wouldn't take a family to see Furiosa anyway, I wouldn't imagine, because it's
Kids
pretty
use
violent.
stupid.
You know, it's,
Well,
it's
yeah.
probably not kid friendly. So I think it's in that awkward spot of like, well, it's gonna the people it's gonna have to appeal to are like basically Mad Max enthusiasts, which I can't imagine that's a huge market in 2024.
Well, again, though, you look like none of us expected Top Gun Maverick to come out and be the biggest film of the year and one of the biggest films in recent memory. We all heard about like, oh, Tom Cruise is coming back. Okay, it's kind of, will this be good? You know, is there going to be a female that's going to tell him how terrible he is and she takes over? Because that's what a lot of people thought. But it came out and it was awesome. And no one not even if you would have said Top Gun Maverick's going to be good, still no one was like, well, that's going to make like $1.5 billion. No one saw that coming.
Yeah.
But it connected with people on a nostalgia level of like, I remember this from my childhood, but also when I was younger, but it's also the proper evolution of the character within the story. You do that with Mad Max and have Mel Gibson in it. And even if it's not going to be something that you thought was going to be huge, it's going to be far more successful than what we have now. But again, you're challenged by YouTube. They're competing with YouTube. They're competing with streaming services, competing with video games, competing with smartphones. You've got to give people something that's going to get them out of their house and want to be motivated to go see it.
You have to earn it. You have to earn it now.
Got to earn it.
And that's why I was saying it was so interesting about Top Gun is like you get so desensitized to like Marvel movies making $1 billion, like fucking Aquaman, piece of shit DC movie made $1 billion. But Top Gun's one of the rare times where you're like, oh man, I'm like happy for you. I'm happy for Tom.
Yeah.
I'm happy for everyone who's involved. How often can you say that you're happy that a movie like made all that money?
Yeah.
Like, you know? It's
Exactly.
There's like only a handful, you know?
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
we should not be desensitized to a movie making $1 billion. That should mean something. But Marvel and all these slop movies have turned into nothing.
Well, I mean, something that's made for everyone is made for no one. And Marvel wasn't making movies for everyone. Marvel was making movies for the fans.
Yeah.
And then that was also for the general public to a certain extent. But they weren't making, they go, we need everyone. And by not making it for everyone, by making it for the target audience, and making it good and putting the right people in the roles, you did by default make something for nearly everyone. Everyone was in love with the MCU. All the kids from school that used to pick on kids for watching comic book movies were standing there on a Friday night to watch the next Iron Man movie. Everybody was there. Now Marvel is at that point, quotation marks are going up, making it for everyone. And guess what? That means you're making it for no one.
I just don't understand. That should be such a simple concept that should be instilled into any like company, like just understanding these basic aspects of storytelling that are just going to create rot. And look where we are right now. Like what happened to the MCU in these last couple of years should be studied. Like they were unkillable just 2 seconds ago, and now you blink and it's like the Marvels were here chasing cats around. And where's Thanos?
Yeah.
What happened to Thanos? I wanted to see Thanos with his turnips on his farm. I would rather watch Thanos farm for fucking like season after season.
Well,
than any of this shit now.
As Bane once said, victory defeated them. You know, they were too successful and they just became so complacent. They were so used to just winning at everything that the standard slipped. And you know, we've covered this before. Like I think the focus on Disney Plus and just churning out the content sludge pipe for that, like drains so much of their creative abilities and their resources that there wasn't enough then to put into their movies, and it just all resulted in homogenized garbage.
Yeah.
And then you hear how much those shows all cost, and you're like, "Why did this? This looks horrible. This is terribly written. Where did you put that money? Can I have a little bit of that?"
Stolen.
Where's the quality control though? Like just because it's like I'm a welder, so I'm so used to QC being a part of your everyday. One little mistake, even over a millimeter, could be like a big issue for something. And this is just for a fucking little piece of metal. Who cares? We're talking like there's billions of dollars on the line here, and you're not gonna like have any type of quality control whatsoever.
Well, that quality control went out the window when Ike Perlmutter was forced out, because did he not have the Marvel creative? I can't remember what the technical term was for it, but it was basically a group of people that had to greenlight every MCU project. Mm-hmm. And if it didn't meet a certain level of writing quality and conceptual quality, then it just didn't get pushed forward. And once he was out, that was it. Kevin Feige had free reign to make whatever he wanted, and then there was no quality control anymore. It was just up to Kevin.
that sounds similar to George, like just going off in the prequels, like, you know, no one can say anything to him, where he was much more reined in the OT.
Kathleen
like
Kennedy
gets, you know?
in Star Wars, Jennifer Salke in Amazon.
Yeah,
It's the people in charge.
when you get executives who don't have that feel for what like constitutes good storytelling and what's actually going to work and connect with people, then you got problems. Because I get that there's a business aspect you have to balance there, but when they don't even have the business acumen to understand what's going to be financially successful, even then, that's when you end up with where the MCU is at. That's where you end up with where Star Wars
spending
is at.
$1 billion on the Rings of Power. How did that get past anyone?
I to this day I refuse to believe that they spent $1 billion.
Where did it go? Where?
Yeah, it's either a tax write-off or it's been siphoned off into other projects and stuff. There's no way $1 billion.
It's like Dr. Evil, though. It's when they go, how much the budget? And he goes, $1 billion. And there's a little finger.
I just House of the Dragon looked so much better, and it's just. I'm not even talking about the writing and just the comparison of the storytelling. Just look at them. It's just disgusting. Where did the money go? I don't know how they did that with Rings of Power.
In terms of Furiosa, before we kind of leave it behind, I guess, because it's going to be consigned to the ash heap of history soon enough. I was curious what your thoughts were on Anya Taylor-Joy taking over the role of Furiosa, because it was a bit of a stretch to move Charlize Theron out and put her in, because she's not necessarily an action star.
Did you
was
guys?
There any reason that they did that? I was kind of confused. It wasn't the same actress.
There's two reasons.
They wanted to digitally de-age her. I don't think.
Two reasons. Her eyeballs. That's it. That's the whole. She got. That's the only reason she was in this movie. To stare at the camera. Did you notice that every shot, every 30 seconds, was just hyper focusing on her eyes? Like she has like very striking eyes, but I feel like they went that well way too often in this movie to where it was almost off-putting. Like
they were trying not to focus on her eyes, but they're so fucking massive. They couldn't help it.
Oh man,
she's an odd one. Like she's right on the verge of looking like a space alien.
She's like an inch, like millimeter
like
away.
If they were any bigger,
just right on the border. Did you think the 40-minute flashback was worth? Like, did we need that? How does everyone feel about that?
I think it could have been a bit shorter. I wouldn't mind if.
I think you could have wrapped it up in 15 minutes easily. And even then, that's pushing it for a flashback intro to the movie. If you think about something like, I don't know, what could I equate this to? Like Conan the Barbarian. You know, you get that flashback to when he's a kid in his village and it gets ransacked and his family gets all murdered and he gets enslaved. That's all wrapped up in like 10 minutes. It's really quick and really efficient. This is 40 minutes. Like that is way too much. You start to think like, oh, well, the focus of the movie is on her literal childhood at a certain point because it goes on for so long.
Well, you got to think about it. Like Lord of the Rings, we see Frodo quicker than we see Anya Taylor-Joy. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
We are introduced to the Shire in Lord of the Rings faster.
The efficiency of the character work in those movies, like just off the bat, like Merry and Pippin, like Buckleberry Ferry, let's go. Like when they're helping them, it's over. It takes 2 seconds to like get you on board with them. And I was gonna,
sorry.
No, I was gonna say Batman Begins is to me one of the best examples for like efficient flashbacks. Like when he's having that camp scene with Ra's al Ghul, then he goes back and basically shows his whole history, ditching his life and going into crime. You get years of his story right there in 2 seconds, and like you get so much substance there. I think we could have did that for this and like saved us 40 minutes, you know.
I mean, it was a tad insecure because it needed a big bad villain, but it couldn't be Immortan Joe. We needed someone else. Unfortunately, she works for Immortan Joe canonically, which means we've got to make someone new, and we got to explain why she's not. Why she's where she is. My God, because I was maybe texting when I was watching it. And, I was like,
I got a few angry ones.
How am I more than an hour in and I can now say the plot has started? That's nuts.
It kept going and going and going.
Yep. I think they did a very poor job of deciding what should be relegated to spoken, history versus watched history. I get it. It's a visual medium. I'm sure he's got some quotes related to that. But there's a sense that you could cut down on a hell of a lot of it and possibly add a whole new plot line with maybe another character. Maybe a guy called Max. I don't know. Could be.
Who's that?
I don't know who it would be. But, I remember hitting the action scene that everybody was praising, and I was like, "Oh shit, is this going to be like?" I'm going to watch the action scene. I'm going to think, "Yeah, that was pretty cool," and then that's the movie now, because the rest of it, I mean, I know how it ends. She's going to get him. Like, I was going with you. I was dramatically unsatisfied with how she gets him.
What's with really anticlimactic?
We got a 40-day and night war. Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
Oh,
but you don't get to see it.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
Say that's
then she just kind of drives slowly after him in the desert. Like, she ambushes him,
she
takes
just
his
bumps
stuff.
into him, and then he's like terrified of her to the point where he splits everyone up. And I was just like, well, if you'd just taken her head on, you might actually have killed her. I don't know. It doesn't even seem quite like in his character.
That didn't feel earned, her being like this scary force at that point.
I also I'm not fully convinced that we couldn't have just had Charlize Theron have a younger actress to play her when she's younger, and then when we skip, because like they connect us right up to Fury Road. Like there's a scene where she's with the girls that she gets out of the and I was just like, oh.
During the credits, they show you basically all of Fury Road.
Yeah. Oh, and I did rewatch Fury Road after seeing this, and I think that Charlize Theron is better as Furiosa than Anya Taylor-Joy. And I do think that I think a lot of her, like as an actress, I think it's cool that she's in so many different things, but maybe she's in one too many things, and they're like, well, just spam her. She's popular. It's like maybe save her for the role she's suited to. I don't know.
I have so much respect for her after Atomic Blonde. Like her portrayal in those fight scenes were just badass, and so many people skipped it because they just called it the female John Wick. But that movie's pretty crazy.
It is good. The plot itself isn't great, but like the action sequences are really impressive. And yeah, she looks like she can hold her own. And it is a shame because I see the dilemma that they had with that one. It's like, you know, Charlize Theron is obviously 10 years older than she was when she did Fury Road, and we have to make her look younger. We're not going to be able to do that with makeup. It's going to have to be digital de-aging, which is expensive as fuck to do for an entire movie.
I was talking about Anya Taylor-Joy when I said getting spammed. I like Charlize Theron.
Oh, okay.
I don't have any issue with her being around.
Anya Taylor-Joy, I liked her in The Witch, and now she's just in everything, staring at the camera with her eyeballs. Like, that's all she's there to do.
Yeah, and I don't think she's a bad actress. I don't know about this role.
That's what I mean. That's why I felt like this movie did a disservice to her. I think she's a better actress. She's more than just her eyeballs. Like, I can get more out of this actress than this. I think she did a better job.
I do wonder if this was just her, maybe her agent or something saying like, yeah, you need to try your hand at doing action flicks as well. Like, because it branches you out a little bit, opens up other possibilities for doing other movies.
Is he just counting his money? Not even
Probably,
looking at it, counting his money, going, yeah, you should just do that, yeah.
And it's like, she's not an actress I would associate with action. She's a very good actress. I very much respect her, but I've never seen her do an action flick before. And she doesn't really seem like she's built for it. Like, she seems very like delicate and sort of feminine, which is fine for what she does. It's just like Furiosa is not that kind of character. And God bless her, she does her best, but she doesn't quite feel like she's made for the role like Charlize Theron was.
Yeah. Remember when she's like, if we find Dementus, he's mine? I was so half expecting Immortan Joe to just slap her. Like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
They should have just laughed. They all should have just laughed at her. Like, she's just, I don't know. A lot of it was...
I didn't feel like she'd earned that weight at all with either the audience or the characters. Like, why would Immortan Joe take that seriously? He'd be like, I'm sorry, what did you just say to me? Like, what?
Even the beef between her and Chris fucking Hemsworth. I was going to call him Chris.
Dementus.
That didn't even feel really, like, I get it. He killed her mom, but I never really got the sense that she despises this guy. I almost, like, even that part wasn't portrayed very well. Like, this is her bit, like, her big revenge plot. Like, really?
As MauLer pointed out,
cool,
like,
other than the murder part, you know.
Well, as MauLer pointed out, like, they had this awkward problem where they had to, like, she couldn't be fighting Immortan Joe because we know he's alive in Fury Road, so it has to be someone else. So how do we get her from that guy to Immortan Joe by the end of the movie? And then you have this awkward trade-off where she gets like sold to Immortan Joe as like part of the peace deal. Like, and then escapes, but then she doesn't actually run away from his camp. She just like stays there and pretends to be a boy, and then no one notices. And then she just becomes like a mechanic or something and gradually works her way up the ranks.
I couldn't believe the amount of times we jumped just a short amount of time to be like, okay, so this is what she did. She went from here to here to here to here to here to here to get to here to have this and this. And I was like, oh, I didn't need that. Like, I could figure a lot of this. Like having her, run away and then skipping to when she's an adult probably would have been enough for me. The idea that she hid as a war boy or whatever, I'd have been like, I could buy that. And then when she was old enough already, she can prove herself before, which is what the big action scene was to me. She proved herself during that. which got her way onto the war rig like permanently. And I was just like, yep, that's good enough. I don't need the other half an hour where you show me how she like gets through the ranks or tries to do this, that, and the other. I don't even think it built character that much, at least not for the time code. Because I've seen people say that Fury Road has benefited a lot by this. Chris Gore described it as a DLC. I'm inclined to agree with him, but it's a bit. I don't know if it's too long of a DLC to make it worthwhile.
For that 40-minute gap, we just didn't get enough. Like, if this whole point of this is character, I just don't feel like I got much. It could have been exposition, could have been a flashback, could have got just as much from one of those, but wasn't worth it.
To put it in context, and I mentioned this in my review, like Fury Road was just over 2 hours. This is 2.5, so it's like a 30-minute increase. And I would argue that Fury Road had more characters and more plot events to deal with than this does. And so it doesn't really justify that extra length. It just becomes kind of bloated and slow. And like there was definitely times when I was looking at my watch thinking, fucking hell, is this thing ever going to end?
Just kept going.
And then the weird part is all the important character work we should have done is between Jack and Furiosa. But there we just do like, yeah, it's been 12 years now or whatever. She's now also on the rig and does all the things. And then they have this little moments like, oh, we're so close now. It's like, are you? I mean, I guess, but
that was the worst.
See you talk most of the time.
That was the most botched part of the movie for me, that relationship, because it's so important, like that transition with those two fucking face paint head. But like they didn't do anything with it. I think her and Chris were better together in terms of like developing their dynamic, you know, because at least he saved her that one time. We had something. I think that part was so shit.
You didn't get a whole lot from Praetorian Jack. Like as a character, I didn't really know what he was about and what he valued, who he was as a person. Like he's just kind of this almost fantasy figure for her. It's like, oh, he's a good looking guy that she can get romantically attached to and then run away with. But I'm sure nothing's bad.
He literally is, come with me and I'll teach you everything. Then the very next scene is, I've taught you everything.
I taught you everything. Yeah.
I was like,
he was a skip cut, like what's it? Just I don't know, a jump cut of some kind, man. Like they just skipped that whole portion, which you could have just isolated the whole flashback on that portion of it, like their relationship.
Yeah, I would have way preferred watching them in several different scenarios that were really difficult than watching the 40 minutes of her moving through Morton Joe's ranks, making sure she can build things. And you know, when the whole sequence where it's like there's like a crane or whatever the fuck, and some guy is getting confused on it, and she has to get in there and do it herself. And they're like, "Wow, you're really good at this. Now you can have the role of wearing this mask that'll help hide you." I was like, I don't need this. There's so many ways my brain can contextualize how she would have hidden the more obvious features. Like I get it. It's fine. You don't need to show me this, but you do need to show me the relationship between these two before you cut it off, which I think they could have done better with that too. In fact, the whole sequence with I mean, are we allowed to do spoilers?
Yeah.
So where he dies, Jack, I feel like they didn't do that very well, nor did they do her escape very well at all. In fact, that might be the worst thing in the whole movie.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm looking at the text that you sent me when you got to that bit, and you just said, "Bro, the way she lost her arm, what the fuck?
What did she bite through it? Like, what happened?"
Yeah,
and
so how it detached completely.
Nobody was paying attention to her that whole time. They were so fixated. Like, they made it seem like he was like having some type of like outer body experience watching this guy get dragged through the dirt, and then they just cut to her gone. Like it was.
But the bike should have seen like the bikes are going round in circles.
Yeah, that's
like,
around it.
It's like how many hours did they ride around for? Like, can you not just like
could have been like 12 hours?
Sit and just
how
wait.
Did she walk? How did she walk all the way back to the Citadel with one arm?
So for people watching this who haven't seen it, like she gets her arm crushed in a car crash. Like it's like Chris Hemsworth chasing her when she's trying to make an escape, and his car, like his big fucking monster truck, rams into her, and her arm gets caught in between and like crushes it. Then like they want to punish her by making them watch, or making her watch as her boyfriend is like tortured to death. So like she gets strung up by this fucking mangled arm. And then wouldn't you know it, like while they're all distracted, she just like, I guess, slices it off somehow or bites it off and then just runs away.
And somehow no one sees her and she doesn't bleed the fuck out.
I thought
because like, I don't know, man. I'm guessing that amputating your own arm is quite a painful experience, and you'd probably cry out or do something. Like it'd be hard to stay quiet during all of that. And then
in the desert, no water, you'd bleed to death so fast.
Yeah, like blood loss is generally a problem when it comes to things like that.
She was encircled. Like, where did she go without getting spotted? It just doesn't make sense. Like, why would you tell us this and then show us that?
Yeah,
MauLer's right, because They're parked on a
motorcycle
truck
as well. Like, how did she get out of that? Just,
How did they not catch her? They have bikes. She's bleeding to death. Like she's got one arm. It makes no sense.
Well, she was lighter because of only one arm, so she was faster.
You could follow the blood.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, if you can't follow the footsteps, follow the blood trail because there's going to be a lot of it.
She's tougher than Sabine, man. Like, how do you?
What about the woman? What about the woman in the beginning, her mum, where she shoots the gas canister on the back of the bike, it explodes, and she doesn't even. She's not phased, and she's on fire.
Yeah, when I saw it, I was like, oh, maybe the jacket has like some protection that you.
Nope, not with that much fire.
Gets rid of it. It's like the whole back is fucked up and bloody.
Like a grenade went off behind her, and she didn't even flinch.
Yeah, because she's that hard, you know. And then she just gets off, drops and rolls, and then she's good to go again.
You can do those scenes and like have it, like, just the arm or something a little bit and like make it believable, but they want it to be so dramatic to where like her entire back and head is inflamed for like 30 seconds. Like, no, that's not gonna work. It's so
you know as well, like the robotic arm that she has in Fury Road is obviously a kind of hallmark of her character. Like, I was kind of curious, like, where does she get that from? And it's literally just like Army of Darkness with Ash. When he loses his hand and then he's like, I need to build like myself a new one. And like 2 minutes later, he's constructed an entire like robotic arm with fingers.
Gets it from like a wheelchair thingy that's just hanging in the engine.
She does the same thing.
Because
she's like spent a lot of time building engines, so that allows her to build complex cybernetic prosthetic limbs, I guess. I don't know.
She didn't even heal. We didn't even get to see her heal. They skipped the recovery completely and just got to like, oh, got a new arm. Here we go. Like, really, really, really lame.
Well, she's practically healed when she meets Immortan Joe because she's in the meeting with one arm going, you have to get him.
Yeah.
She should be bleeding right then and there.
That's
also
recovery, man.
I'm not the biggest fan of Fury Road, but there's a couple of payoffs in it I quite like, and one of them is when Max is on the hood. He's about to fall off between two big cars, and she grabs him on his foot, and he's like dragged. It's really close. If she lets him go, he's dead. And then another dude comes in from behind with a knife, and there's this moment of she has a choice to continue to sort of hold him, make sure he doesn't die, but she'll have to sacrifice being able to stop a guy from stabbing her in the gut, and that happens. And so then the rest of the film is like she's on a bleed out timeline, which, without getting into more of that, I like a choice like that compared to what I think they did, which is waste the losing of the arm. I would have been fine as an angle if she'd just lost it in the middle of a fight. I can respect that. Sure, fine, if you want to do it that way. But what I would have thought, especially with the whole map to the green place, wouldn't it have been a little bit more meaningful to have her either lose it to save the guy in the war rig, or to kill, to prevent the escape of Dementus, right?
And that would explain how the green place got destroyed.
Yeah, because someone else found the way to it, I suppose.
Because Fury Road, it's gone.
Just before we go on, I know, Jeremy, you've got some stuff going on that you need to drop out and tackle. So, yeah, man, I want to say thanks for coming in.
I appreciate it, man. Like I said, I was worried this would happen when I agreed to come on, but I appreciate it. Thank you for having me on. I'll make it up to you, and I'll come back next week if you want me to, or the week after, and I'll be here for the full show. So I appreciate it. Great panel as always. You guys keep being toxic, and I'll be a fan of yours. So
nice to meet you.
All right. Bye, guys. Bye.
No problem, man.
All right, bye.
Thank
Bye.
you.
It could take a second to envision it, but just, the nature of like Dementus is about to get away and she uses her arm to jam something to stop him, and it costs her the arm, costs her the green place, but that revenge, that need to kill him. Something thematic. Instead of when the wheel hit her arm, I was like, oh shit, is that how it's gone? Okay. And then it's still attached. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's funny because I don't know if that was just me. I thought like 3 times that she lost her arm, because one time she gets stabbed in the shoulder. It's like, oh, that's how it goes. And it's fine.
Well, I thought that
If she
with the
the
RPG
rocket launcher, nothing happens to her. It's like, oh, okay. I don't know when it's happening. It goes like,
well, it's like they're just dicking with us. They know that we know it's gonna happen, and so they're just playing with us.
It's like that movie Hot Tub Time Machine, I think it is, where whichever movie it is, where the guy's gonna lose his hand, so throughout the whole movie they just keep fucking with you. Has anyone seen that movie? I can't even remember what it is now. But Hot Tub Time Machine, someone in the chat. But they did it better. This one was kind of like just awkward. And
like you say, like there's no real dramatic weight to it, because it doesn't happen for any particular purpose. It's just an injury that she takes. She has to like cut it off to escape. But then that's not even a sacrifice either, because the arm was so fucking mangled, it probably would have been useless to her anyway. So
Well, to me, there's no decision to make there. It's like, apparently she could just escape if she cuts off her arm. It's like, well, I guess you cut off your arm then, otherwise you die. So yeah.
But almost any other time you see someone lose a limb in a movie, or any type of story, there's some type of like meaningful sacrifice there. There's so much you can do. There's so much drama to mine from that, and to just waste this opportunity was like embarrassing to me. We don't even know what happened. Like, rather than actually like, having something that we can really like, compared to like Luke losing his arm and how much that moment means, losing his hand. Where compared to this, we have no idea what even happened. Did she bite through? It's just stupid. Echo was
I don't understand how. I don't understand how she got it. I assume she would have to bite through it because she didn't have any blades or anything on her.
Even just saying that could have been dramatic.
Yeah.
Well, so I thought maybe they wanted us to think it just tore off. Like she didn't even intend for it.
Just hanging there and goes like,
oh shit! All right, I guess I'll dip now. Like she just got
then,
lucky.
She's like yelling in pain. She crawls away, and Chris Hemsworth's just like, the yells of pain and not escape.
That's crazy.
That's what that is.
Think about this from a creative standpoint in terms of the things that they skip. They skipped literally the arm cutting off, and they skipped the recovery of it. What was the point then? Like, there's completely no point of that, using that whatsoever. They skipped.
You think as well? I don't know. Like, losing a limb is probably quite a traumatic thing. Like, would that affect her in some way? Or, like, would she be like, "Oh my god, I'm going to be a cripple for the rest of my life"? But, like, nothing. She just kind of carries on like nothing really happened. It's just a mild inconvenience for her.
And then just finds the new one.
Yeah, and then as though it's like a video game where you've done all the side quests, you're like, I gotta go kill that boss, right? Where is he? He's over there. I gotta sweet. I'll go do that.
Yeah, it's super lame.
Like needs must and all that, I mean, but I was just thinking there, like, is there things that we could pick out about this movie that were positive, that we thought were decent? Like, I guess visually, there's some lovely shots in it. It does look like a nice, a nice visually impressive film.
I gotta say though, there's some horrible looking green screens, things there as well.
That's the thing,
like some of the zooming in things, it was like, ugh.
It's balanced out by a lot of shitty shots, so it's hard to even like comment on that. I'd say my biggest compliment is Chris Hemsworth is fun. I confirmed that I just like him as an actor. He had nothing to work with, but as soon as he was on screen, I woke up a bit. I was drifting like 20 minutes into it, but he got me through the movie. I just like him as an actor.
If he doesn't go too crazy, he actually has some really good comedic timing and everything. So
he's funny.
He can be really funny.
I wish we'd cranked up his reasoning a little bit more. You got to really like quick delve into his mind at the end, and I was like, I kind of wish that guy was throughout the whole movie.
Yes.
I get the desire to be like, raw, I'm crazy, I'm gonna kill everybody, raw. But like the guy who has almost a philosophy is like, ooh, can we have that one?
Seriously,
we got very little of that throughout the movie, and so you were never entirely clear on what was motivating him. Like, he just seemed to be a guy who thrived on war and chaos and adversity. I guess what they were. Because what they seem to be kind of going for was like, he's in his element when he's got a war to fight or he's got some kind of enemy to overcome. And then, when he achieves his aims and he's got control of like the refinery, he kind of runs it into the ground because he's not that interested in being like some administrator. And like, you get the impression of like, this guy would just gradually, fall apart if he was just in a world of peace and prosperity, because like, that's not really what drives him. Which is fine, I guess, as a character flaw. I would like to see more exploration of that. It's just a bit weak.
Throughout all that, you can get the sense that there's something deeper to him underneath this. There's something more. There's something here, and we don't get to see any of it until like the last 30 seconds of his character. Like we get. I wish, just like MauLer said, that why couldn't we got that? Like that was so much more interesting. And it's the same.
I would prefer no Furiosa, just Joe versus Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah,
they're much more interesting characters. It's weird because Furiosa is actually the most boring character in her own movie.
Yeah, remove her. It's like Wonder Woman all over again. Remove her from the movie, and we might have had something.
I would love to see just a Morton Joe focused movie with like the whole cult aspect they're going on. It's like, witness me. There's something just hype about it when they go like, nah, fuck it.
You could do how we built it, and that would give you a whole set of new characters, because we could set that, as many as fucking 40 years ago or something. Do whatever you want.
Yeah. No, that would. I think because the movie tackles like the 40-day war for the wasteland and stuff, and like it's all just glossed over as a couple of like little montages, and that's all you see. that's a movie unto itself. Like that's a fascinating bit of history of the world and the wasteland and stuff. But again, we just don't get to see it. And it's like the movie's just trying to focus on all the wrong things. It's set up this interesting dynamic, but it's telling it through the lens of a character that we don't care all that much about, which is it's a real shame.
To make it clear,
It's two stories in one.
If Furiosa's name was a new guy character called Fury, I still think this film would do about as well. Like I don't see us caring. It's gonna have to be Max and making the story meaningful in some way, shape, or form. Because I don't think the story was particularly like. I think it works, and there's plenty to say in terms of like how it works. The A to B connective tissue, like the flashbacks, how they all lead together. It's like, yeah, I follow. I understand this story. Though, if you'd asked me as like a pre-screening before it came out, I'd be like, I don't know how audiences are going to do with this one. Like. I struggle to recommend it. I'd be like, just watch the others. I don't even mean that in like a get away from me terrible movie. I'd just be like, it's not fantastically paced, and I don't think you're going to benefit that much from the story. I just don't.
No,
it's kind of a standard revenge, quote unquote, flick. It's but like I don't know if you compare the action per second in Fury Road to this, it's staggering.
Oh yeah.
You know what would have been a more interesting story if, like, say Dementus and Immortan Joe had like forged this alliance and like they were actually quite tight with each other, and like Furiosa gradually works to undermine that and like create a rift between them so that they go to war, and she can then ultimately weaken Dementus and destroy his power base so that she can then get to him. You know, like a kind of Count of Monte Cristo type revenge plot where there's a lot of actual thought and planning that goes into it. That could have been a more interesting story, but she's kind of like passive in a lot of the movie. Like she's just caught up in events that are outside of her control, which again just doesn't fit very well with this revenge story because she's not necessarily out for revenge for a lot of the film. She just wants to, she flirts with the idea of like running away from all of it and leaving it all behind.
Yeah, just go back home. Yeah.
Well, the problem is it tries to tie up with Fury Road, and she rescues all those women, but she's had like no interaction with any of those women in there. Like she could have started the war between Dementus and Immortan Joe to try and weaken Immortan Joe to get the women out, and then her plan fails. Like that could have been
the closest we got. Yeah, the closest we got was like she sees one of them give birth, and she gives birth to like a deformed baby, and so she's probably that woman's going to get turfed out into the wasteland because she's not useful. And it's like, well, her motivation there was just like, I don't want to suffer that same fate. I don't want to like have my life just dictated by whether or not I can bear Immortan Joe a child. That's why she runs away. Get her. But it's not like she had any particular compassion towards those women or anything. I didn't get that impression. It was more just, I don't want that to happen to me.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which is, it's not quite the same thing. It's not as altruistic. And yeah, like I think the final catalyst for it was the big dude trying to, assault her, and then she runs away from him because he's fucking retarded.
She cuts her hair beforehand, and I was like, no, it would have been better if he grabbed her hair, and that's what makes her shave her head.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
she would have learned something. Like, don't let men grab your hair.
Yeah, I think you guys just
no,
unless you're into that kind of thing.
That's the biggest thing you just pointed out for me now. It just seems like everything was half baked. Every little thing had potential, but every single aspect was half baked, which is weird.
Yeah.
That's what felt like wasn't Immortan Joe when he figured out the girl he just put into this breeding hall or whatever they call it. It's like, yeah, ran away. It's like,
oh, dude,
what?
that was retarded. When it's like
no
she doesn't speak at all. She's of that age, and then later the retarded son finds another person who can't speak at all, who's just the right age. He's like, do I recognize you? It's like, I guess he is retarded. That's like his whole characteristic. So
yeah, they need him to be stupid for that whole character to work. It's just dumb.
Yeah, it's frustrating, for a movie that's so simple in terms of plot to like still make basic mistakes like this. It's kind of disappointing because you'd think like, well, okay, George Miller made a point of saying like we don't go in huge for dialogue here. Characters only speak when they really need to, and it's not a complicated story that you're dealing with. Okay, so you can make it super solid then because it's so simple.
Tighter as well.
Yeah, and it's like they kind of fail on both counts, I guess, which is a real shame.
Because when we do the whole thing on the war, it's like, yeah, that's what I was wanting to see. Like in Fury Road, they go do like shooting, and there's like these guys and with these, I don't know, they basically do like the floating thing with the, I don't know, sand skis or whatever you want to call them.
I thought the Octoboss, he was cool. As like an aesthetic. It just
it just comes from nowhere. Though. It's like,
no, of course, that's the thing. There's just
Yeah.
not enough like context for a lot of this.
Yeah, like,
and to be fair, you know,
that thing?
there was, you know, that's a staple of the Mad Max franchise. I think, like, if you go back to the Road Warrior, like, there's all kinds of like weird and wonderful characters from the Wasteland that are part of like the Lord Humongous's army, and like, there's no backstory really for them. They're just there, like, they're just visually interesting, but that's all you get from them. I don't know what they're going for there. Like, it's just that stripped back, simplistic style of storytelling, or what?
You know, I'm totally on board with that. It's just that you're going to need like main character interest if you're going to have side characters that no one knows anything about. Meanwhile, I'm like looking at the Octoboss being like, well, he's almost the, like, other than her, someone I was like the most interested in. It's like, oh, it's like, yeah, because there's just not enough for me to grasp onto in the movie, I guess.
Why was the dude filling up his nipple through his suit like the whole time? What was that? What the fuck's going on here? All these, like, I had no idea what was going on, and like I was like, give me something, give me someone to follow. And yeah, other than Chris, I didn't really enjoy anyone's performance. It was just really dull, and it took forever. It just kept going, and and it's just like you said, it's not terrible, but it's just under a recommendation. Like, I wouldn't want anyone to go through that.
Oh, well, and any Mad Max fans being like, should I check it out? I'd be like, no, you'll be fine.
No.
Wait till it goes in streaming.
Yeah, like
You could probably get
something.
someone to just make a supercut of like all the road chase scenes, like with all the
Oh,
action
that'd be on
scenes, and
YouTube.
just watch
No
them.
worries.
Yeah, like just watch that. That's
Yeah,
probably all you need.
They're
Really.
really fun.
It
Still,
could have been half an hour. Like,
because that big war rig, that's still like a real thing they build, so that you can tell. It's like
Yeah,
really
it's cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, it like again that action scene around the midpoint of the movie, which is really like the one that people point to as like the highlight in terms of like action and spectacle and stuff, and probably quite a lot of practical effects. It's still not a patch on like some of the big action set pieces from Fury Road.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing. Like there's still bits on Fury Road where I look at that and I'm like, holy fuck, that just looks amazing. Like, I can't believe they did like a massive like pyrotechnic stuntman, you know, scene with all these cars and everything all in one take. Like, it's just incredible to watch.
We got the war rig again, but it was worse.
Yeah,
that's the thing. You could have had new vehicles, or you could have had bikes, or you could have done something else. But they just repeated the war rig scene.
there's
did it
bits
worse.
as well where I look at shit and I'm like, that's like the most inefficient weapon that I could imagine for a scenario like this, where, you know, you've got paragliders with machine guns mounted to them, and like they're getting towed along, and they have to like then fire their guns at the war rig. How's that meant to work? Like, how are you meant to aim something like that? Like, it's all just
It's all nonsense, man.
Yeah,
What
it's
about
just-
Gastown? Gastown had a giant oil moat around it with flamethrowers right next to it. Where you'd set your own moat on fire.
Someone smoking a cigarette. Like,
Very
it's just-
effective as a
Yeah.
defense.
yeah.
Mm.
Oh well, someone's screaming in the background by the sounds of things.
Furiosa.
No, don't trash
Come
my
to get
movie.
us.
Oh well, that was Furiosa. I suppose there's not much more we can say about it. It was a movie. It looks like it's going to flop. It's going to be another one to add to the list for this year.
Yeah.
Bit sad, really. But hey, you know, we've always got the Acolyte to look forward to. Are you guys excited? It's just around the corner now. like a
Or
couple of
I'm
days
gonna
away.
get my lightsaber whip and
We spent an hour breaking down that fucking trailer, man. Like,
Yeah.
like, holy shit. And the
I
most
just watched it.
interesting
That was
thing,
enough for me. I didn't want to see it anymore.
the most interesting thing was like a little alien dude who had like a beard. We're just making fun of the kids. The rest, was
Well, I
fucking
mean, at this
shit.
point, like, they've already started to set up the defenses for this. And like, as you guys have probably been made aware, Kathleen Kennedy's been doing the rounds, doing an interview with, I think, the New York Times, that's been then repeated in Variety, already setting up the defenses for this TV show. So basically saying, if you don't like it, it's because you hate women. Which, you know,
It's like
it's a
clockwork,
tried
isn't
and
it?
tested tactic.
Again?
Well,
Are they
yeah,
tired?
it's like, we're doing it. Yeah, we're doing the same thing again. Like, why break a winning strategy? I suppose it's been going since about 2018, 2019. So just carry on, you know.
Wouldn't it
But
be
no,
nice when they do these interviews one time and they're like, I think we did a really good story with great characters. You should watch it.
Yeah.
No, they
Maybe they should
fired.
start with that.
They
That
get
would be-
fired, canceled, done. Like they,
Well-
she wouldn't allow that.
Well, I won't go through the entire article because it goes on forever. But I will say, like, some quotes from from her in relation to this. She says, operating within these giant franchises now with social media and the level of expectation, it's terrifying. I think Leslie Headland has struggled a bit with it. I think a lot of the women who step into the Star Wars struggle with this a little bit more because of the fan base being so male-dominated. They sometimes get attacked in ways that can be quite personal. So, yeah, I think the problem is that men, essentially, but it's good because Kathleen Kennedy and Leslie Headland together are working to eliminate all of the male fans within the Star Wars fan base. And so it's a problem that's kind of solving itself. Like they're gradually just giving up and saying, I just don't want this anymore. But I just thought, like, yeah, give it a little bit more time. Like the remaining fans who are still annoyed about the shit things that you're doing, they will become apathetic to the point where they just don't care anymore, and then they'll just move on to something else, and then you won't even really have fans anymore. So it's an interesting problem that kind of fixes itself in the long run. But I just thought it's interesting that their strategy obviously is to preemptively plant the seeds that anyone who dislikes the Acolyte is doing it for sexist reasons rather than just because the show looks like absolute garbage.
The amount of people that just going to be us five. We're the only ones going to be watching it.
As I'm saying, the amount of people that'll take in that garbage and take it seriously is that number is dwindling by the day. Like people are starting to roll their eyes at that shit now. Like just the preemptive. Like remember the whole Reva defense? People bought that. If Kenobi came out today and they tried to do the Reva thing, no one would take that shit. Like no, your show is just shit. Like admit it. Like they had, when are we gonna get the turn of the tide? If someone just admits like this was a bad take, this was a bad idea.
Well, they always do like a couple of months later when it's too late. It's like actually that show wasn't that great. It's like no, I said that like months ago. Thanks. When you called me a sexist.
Well, I think my favorite like transition in that kind of vein was Rings of Power, where the Guardian first like they led with the whole like this show is amazing, it's the best thing on TV, and then like a month later, same author and everything said, right, now that it's all over, can we just admit that the Rings of Power was absolute dog shit?
Find that man's name. Legend.
It's just but it's so interesting that the mentality was got to defend corporate product because it ticks diversity boxes and that make me happy. You know, and then once it's over and it's safe to criticize it, then I can say like, nah, it was actually garbage. It's like, okay.
The truth comes out.
If they shit on it immediately, they don't get the juicy pre-release footage anymore that they can get all the clicks with. So, you know what? This looks good. This is really good. You should all watch it.
What was the, they took the influencers and none of them watched Rings of Power.
No. Yeah,
it was actually I like Game of Thrones more.
One of them was busy watching House of the Dragon. She was busy watching House of the Dragon. She hadn't got Rings of Power yet. Like that is
amazing.
That's the ultimate right there. Like just teabagging that show. I hope they come out again at the same time. That's one of my favorite things that's ever happened. Like ever.
It was truly the worst choice of PR that you could ever have made. But with the Acolyte, like it just feels like nobody's going to watch this anyway. Like the best case scenario for them is that it's kind of blandly forgettable, like it's not too offensively bad. It's just kind of a meh Star Wars show. That's probably the best they could possibly hope for, and nobody's really going to watch it anyway.
The worst case scenario really hard on this one though,
because they did that with Echo. Echo was 8 episodes, and they cut it down to 5, hoping everyone would forget it. Do you think they're going to do it with Acolytes, or do you think they're so delusional they'll just go, yeah, fucking put in everything?
No.
I think they're putting a lot into this. Personally,
I actually believe it's good.
I don't know if it's that or if they're just going to try and overwhelm people with visual spectacle. But just looking at the trailers, it kind of feels like there's a lot of money behind it, and I don't know if that's just overcompensation. Like we've got to try and sell this thing, because if you look at pretty much every other Star Wars TV show that they've made, they've all been fucking failures. You know, even the best case scenario where you had something like Andor, you know, it was pretty good quality in terms of writing and stuff, but nobody really watched it. So again, it was a failure from a financial point of view. Yeah, I just don't know what
getting worse. Because Andor was the same as Ahsoka in terms of viewership, and Ahsoka's got more recognition. She was like a more recognized character. So each one seems to be doing even worse. And I don't think the Acolyte, like, is there any star power other than the guy from Squid Game no one knows the name of?
His name is Ronald. Okay.
Ronald McSquid Game. Yeah.
Mr.
You're
Squid.
so fucking right.
Nobody remembers
Like-
his fucking name. I remember Il Nam. That's it.
They would have him go racist Star Wars fans, fans of ours, but he probably can't speak English well. So
That's it.
they have no one to come out and like insult you before the episode, like you
You've
McGregor.
got Carrie Ann Moss, who I think is probably the closest you get into I don't know, a movie star or whatever, or with a bit of star power in this show.
It's probably not
and-
that long.
Yeah, I mean, it's just it's kind of an irrelevant force in Hollywood now, but like it's just kind of a legacy thing, I suppose, that's attached to this show. But yeah, I can't wait for the sort of hostage videos where like she records something in her car saying like, I'm so disappointed in the Star Wars fans.
You piece
for-"
of shit.
Yeah.
Fuck you, watch my video.
Yeah.
I don't know. They keep burning their reputations with that shit. Some of these celebrities just don't understand. Out of touch.
Yeah.
Completely out of touch.
Didn't they spoil the twist in their own trailer? There's twins.
I heard
Like
something about that.
the girl with the because apparently the girl with the cloth over her face who's fighting Carrie Ann Moss, she's an evil one. There's a good one. But the thing is, though, they both have the same hairstyle. So these twins are separated at birth, have gone to the same barber, gotten the exact same hair color, gotten the exact same style.
My
same
God, it's
length.
uncanny.
It's like fucking stupid.
I can't even begin to describe with words in the English language how unexcited I am for this show. Like, there's just nothing in it. There's nothing in the trailer. There's nothing in the promotional material. There's nothing in any of the cast or the actors attached to it that makes me think, oh yeah, I want to watch this.
I mean, the Star Wars YouTube channel is trying. They put like 10 videos out in the last like 3 weeks.
What's
Like,
their-
look at
Yeah.
the behind the scenes and official clips. Like, yeah, I don't care.
Oh, they're desperate, man. What's there to talk about? No one gives a shit. It's just
Kylo
like-
with teeth. That's what we got, haven't we? We got Kylo Ren with teeth.
We got Amanda and
Oh,
her
yeah.
violin. Apparently, that's one of the clips.
I'm gonna have a look actually at their YouTube channel just to see out of curiosity. Oh
The viewership.
God. Yeah, just so official
dying
clip
channel.
from the Acolyte, 321,000 views.
Yeah.
The Acolyte exploring Star Wars, 51,000 views. That's from yesterday. That's a channel with 4 million subscribers. What have we got?
What's the dislike? Isn't it like well, I've got 74,000 likes, 180,000 dislikes.
Oh,
Man.
No.
what's the
And also-
viewers? What's the
It
view
rounds
count?
that 6.6 million
That's
on
really
the latest trailer.
I mean, that's just low engagement in general, isn't it?
Yeah.
Did you say 175,000 dislikes?
180.
180, yeah. And
Plus,
then-
it rounds down, so it'll probably be like 190, 200,000. It's like a dying channel. It's like one of those famous YouTubers that accidentally do something and everyone leaves.
yeah, it's
Star
it's like
Wars,
it's
famous
the boogie of the internet.
Yeah. It's gonna be like a documentary on how it died.
Yeah, but it's like that with most of these official channels, like especially like that on Twitter. You know, where you've got like sites like Kotaku or something like that, or the New York Times, where they got millions of followers apparently, and then they post tweets that get like 50 likes. That's just it's
Yeah.
dead, completely
That's why
dead.
they try and
Must
pick
be
a
like-
fight.
Yeah,
It's like the only engagement they get is by saying something incredibly stupid.
Mhm.
yeah. They
Bomb
explain a
Apparently,
lot.
Mad Max doesn't need Mad Max anymore. It's like, oh, okay. That
Yeah.
was an IGN article. I refuse to read it.
They
Everyone,
keep doing that. That's
everyone's
stupid.
dying of obesity these days, and that's a good thing.
That's a good thing.
Sure, okay.
Sure.
I did like this tweet from John Gates, or sorry, this super chat said, fucking tweet. Daisy countered this kind of language when the reporter tried to bait her into a similar response weeks ago, basically saying that her interactions with the fans had actually been really positive. And this is Daisy Ridley as well. Like, you know,
Yeah.
if she's had positive interactions, then anyone can.
Mhm.
Kathleen Kennedy is contradicting her own actress, who said how positive her interactions with the fans had been. Also, Star Wars Episode 2 game coming to PlayStation Network next month. Don't care about that. Interestingly enough. But
Thanks, though.
yeah, thanks. I can confidently say I don't give a fuck about a single Star Wars game ever. So
Wow.
yeah. Anyway, that's just me though. I don't know about the rest of you.
Well, she knows that Daisy Ridley's got nothing else. I mean, it's the upcoming Rey movie, which fucking God knows what that's going to be.
It's the best move for her. What else is she going to do?
No.
Yeah. If I
made a movie with
was
Tom
Daisy
Bombadil.
Ridley, I would take that role, make as much money as I can out of it, and then fucking retire because my career's over anyway.
This is the play, man. I hope all her family and friends are pushing towards this. Like, let's just.
Or she can just go absolutely nuts, shave her head, start picking fights. Maybe that'll get her more popular.
Darth Ray, is what we're going for? Just skinhead Ray?
Bring real attack the interviews.
It's gonna be the next creator clash. It's gonna fight someone.
Well, give her another 5 years. She could go down the Kristen Stewart route. You know, because she just did everything in her power to be the most obnoxious arsehole on the planet. So sure.
Would you want to see like Rey or Finn or Kylo, like anyone from the sequel trilogy, like if they actually get an opportunity for redemption in the future, who would you want to see get a shot at like a real story?
I wouldn't want to put the actors through that. Like, especially, you know, I think John Boyega seems like a good guy. I don't want him to like have the humiliation of being in another Star Wars movie. Same with
Driver.
Oscar Isaac. Yeah, he's a good actor with a good career. Like, don't jeopardize that by being in another shitty Star Wars film. Just walk away.
I would redeem Finn, have a whole film redeeming him, at the very end, blow him up.
He might
blow him up.
Just make it as brutal death as possible.
Can you have his final word be
Ray? Yeah. Ray's got the button. Ray's blowing him up.
I'd watch that. Yeah. Holy shit.
Good lord.
I mean, who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck about Finn or Rey or anyone?
Nobody.
Like, what's after the sequels? Rey training two fuckwits. A girl and a boy. Boy will be a fucking asshole. Girl will be the key to everything.
Easily.
You already know what the story's going to be.
Yeah, well, they already explained the plot because it's like Rey trains two children, two young Padawans. The girl begins to exhibit mysterious powers because, of course, she fucking does.
Again.
What else could it possibly be?
It never ends.
This is what gets me so frustrated with specifically Star Wars and Marvel. These two in particular. You can do anything. There's so much room for storytelling, and they just do the same shit over and over again, like a zombie.
Well, it's literally just doing the South Park meme. You know, it's so tired and predictable and like dated at this point. I don't know, man. It's like someone in 2024 still going like, "What the?"
Yeah,
you know, it's like all the shit that's played out like a decade ago, and like, they're still doing it.
That's Steve Buscemi when he goes, "Hello, fellow kids." He's got a skateboard.
How'd you do, fellow youths?
But that's the thing as well. It's twins in the Acolyte. We've already had fucking twins. I just hope everyone in the show dies. That'll just be the only fun thing.
I think we get behind that.
They're gonna ruin Yoda or somebody. There's gonna be. We're talking about this show like there's nothing, but I just have this feeling they're gonna fuck us over somehow. Like Kenobi somehow fucked over Aunt Beru. If they can fuck over Aunt Beru, then anything's possible. Right? So.
They can do it.
Anything is possible.
They're going to do like a younger Yoda. They're going to go, oh, he's younger and not more mature. He's still like 600 years old. So
You know
it's
what?
like, oh, I wasn't as wise. I only got wise my 700th year.
Oh, man. Yeah, it's pretty stupid. Just the idea of seeing Yoda in this show turns my stomach because he's one of the few people who hasn't really been fucked with by Disney.
It's
Well, he will
about all
be.
they have left.
He's going to be fucked raw.
Yeah,
It's going to be Yoda.
They're going to give him the meat and give it to him raw.
Without
Oh my
loop,
God.
just a running start.
I did like this quote as well from Leslie Headland in relation to all this stuff, saying, "As a fan myself, bullshit. I know how frustrating some Star Wars storytelling has been in the past. You mean like since Disney took it over? I've felt it myself. Yeah, sure you have. I stand by my empathy for Star Wars fans, but I want to be clear." Anyone who engages in bigotry, racism, or hate speech, I don't consider a fan.
That's the
There's
same
no
thing
racism
Ewan
This
McGregor
is the
said.
problem because I think you're going to define hate speech as anyone who criticizes your show
Exactly.
for
That's
any
the
reason.
problem with that word. Same with like fat shaming or any of those type of things. Like people just make up their own definition for these terms, and just if it fits the bill, it's crazy. Low bar.
Yeah.
How many seasons do you think this will get?
One.
Just the
Too
one, yeah.
many.
Just one, yeah.
I suspect that's one too many.
Star Trek's got 5. I mean, anything's possible at this point.
How'd that happen? How did that happen? Like this
Devil Deal, probably.
It's got spin-offs. It's got an animated show. It's like you'd think it's this giant success. No one is watching it.
It's like cockroaches in terms of like bad robot Star Trek shows. You just can't exterminate them. Like they just keep breeding, and there's more and more of them. And yeah, like you say, nobody's fucking watching them. I don't understand how they justify it financially, but they somehow do.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't hear anyone talk about it. I don't see marketing for it. I don't see this thing that I don't know how it's had legs for 5 seasons. That's insane to me. Like Picard, I can see getting a few seasons just on the name alone, right? But this Discovery, I don't get it.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Probably since season 2, I think, of Discovery, people just kind of stopped talking about it. It got to that point where like you got through the confusion, then the anger, and then the apathy, and then that was it. It just faded into irrelevance. And it was almost like then it didn't matter how good or bad it was because nobody was criticizing it anymore because no one cared enough to even watch it.
It'll be interesting in like 10 years' time. We're all older, and then we just look back and it's season 25 of Star Trek, and we just go, what have they actually done? There'll be like this gigantic universe of Star Trek nobody has watched.
Yeah. But it's gone down the same. It's gone down the same exact road as Star Wars, where the shit stuff now vastly outnumbers the good stuff.
Yeah, to say you're a Star Wars fan now is kind of awkward. Like, because majority of Star Wars is shit. Like, it's anyone asks me that question, I'm like, well, like, there's so much I have to explain, you know? Like, it's
well,
just
I imagine
pieces.
I imagine the conversation would be very much like, I am a Star Wars fan now, and the other person would just go, why?
Do you need help?
What do you? It's like, so you're a retard. I see.
No, it's so true. Like being a Star Wars fan wasn't something to be embarrassed about. Like in the prequels, that was a boon. I remember it well. This is not. It's embarrassing. It's completely embarrassing now.
I think most people watching it have just lost the remote.
Yeah, they have no other choice.
Where is it?
Let it go. It's just fucking content. They've lost the ball completely.
Well, if they're watching like the next sequel trilogy, whatever the fuck, and parents come in and go, "Oh God, I was watching porn."
Don't want to be caught watching Star Wars. My God.
Thing is, though, it's in a month. You've got in the same month. You've got The Crow, Bad Boys, The Boys, House of the Dragon, and Dead. No, that's next month. Yeah, but you've got like House of the Dragon, The Boys, and
who cares about The Boys? Don't bring that one up.
I'm just saying, in terms of popularity, this is just going to fade out quickly.
I'm just
The Boys is
serious hatred for that show because when I watched season 1, I'm like, this is my fucking show. I love it. It wasn't perfect, but in terms of my enjoyment, I was so on board. And season 2 just spit in my face. Stupidity. Everything I thought the show was.
Season is the same.
That's what I'm saying. I quit completely after season 2. I don't ever want to see it again. And from what I hear, they didn't do anything. They've done
in the trailer. You can see Homelander's son. He picks Homelander, then he picks Billy. Now he's going back to Homelander. And he went, why the fuck does anyone want this kid?
Shit.
But it's like Homelander and Billy, for the 15th time, are going to go into a room and go, no, this time is the last time. We're going to kill each other next time. And then he won't, because season 5's been announced.
I do kind of feel like
carries that show. I think that's why people like it. It's like, look how crazy the show is.
It's the spectacle now. There's no story. No one talks about the storytelling dynamic. It's just the spectacle of shit happening.
The memes. I think it makes most things the memes.
Yeah. I honestly feel like that was a one-season show. Like the entire appeal of it lay in the novelty of subverting the superhero genre, which was this is a cool thing to do. Like 5 years ago. Now we're kind of way beyond that point where we've subverted it now where it's already a parody of itself, so no one gives a fuck about that stuff
this
anymore.
Is the norm.
Yeah.
The norm is to be an asshole superhero. That's normal.
Yeah. And the whole thing about like trying to be so edgy and so like on the nose with political commentary. It's
the
like,
memes in season 2. Man. The fucking shit memes in season 2 that they invented. Homelander.
The guy saw some memes and then murdered someone.
And he's just crying and shit.
That's how it works.
Yeah. It's that really clumsy, like political allegory stuff that nobody fucking wants in their entertainment anymore.
Edgy. Because they go like, oh, we put cocks and murder in our show when so's every other show.
Yeah.
Every show's got a sex scene.
It's
Game of Thrones
fucking
came up with
phony.
sex position.
That's the boys, a big fucking phony, man. Like they're just a
Yeah,
fraud.
it's safe
Like,
edgy.
you're not what I thought you are. Like you
Yeah.
pussies. I'm so bitter about that show because I think season
Look,
one.
we have this
some awesome jokes.
this crazy racist lady, but she's not gonna say any slurs whatsoever. It's
You
like,
Nazi
yellow.
who's not really
Okay.
a Nazi.
Yeah,
Oh.
like, no
Yeah.
racist would say that. Like just spit it out. Like it's just pathetic, man. I hate.
especially if you're
shit
superpowered.
like
Who's
that.
gonna stop you?
It's yeah, because it
Turning powers on and off.
initially sold itself on like, oh, you know, we're criticizing both sides of the political divide and all that stuff, like because we're everything's absurd. It became very clear very quickly, like this is purely seen from one point of view, and we know exactly what point of view it is. Of course it is. I thought, like you say, it's safe edgy. It pretends to be like critiquing things, it pretends to be satirizing things, it doesn't really.
It's fraud.
Yeah, it's the same shit. There was one super chat I just want to answer here for Diego Lima. Says, hi, on Last Orders number 96, you spoke about that Twilight Zone episode with William Shatner and the Gremlin. It's a short story by Richard Matheson, I Am Legend. I recommend the book. It made me not like Will Smith movie very much.
I've heard that,
That's
yeah.
fair enough.
There's an
Isn't
adaptation.
there a sequel coming out? And Will Smith's back.
I
Of
Am
course there's a
Legend.
sequel coming out. Why not?
I am alive again somehow.
Dude, we're getting a sequel to Twister called Twisters.
Oh
When
my
I saw it in the
god.
cinema, I almost fell out of my seat. It's like, you
What?
fucking kidding me?
I feel like I want to
What?
go for a shower after you said
That's
that.
disgusting.
Well, I
man.
mean, I want to know
Fire
what happened
whoever
to
thought of
Twister's son, who's going to get revenge on them for
Well,
killing
in the
their
trailer, there were
Twister.
2 Twisters right next to each other. I was like, what the fuck?
Dang,
I'd love
dude.
it.
This
After-
time it's personal.
Yeah.
That's so
After
lame.
surviving one Twister, they go, another Twister! Another one comes.
Are they
And
going
it
to
just
like?
repeats the same.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, my dad was killed by a Twister or something, but it was the fear of Twisters that really killed him. I don't know.
I think
They're going
if
to
I remember
declare war on
correctly,
them and drop
I'm
bombs
gonna-
on Twisters.
They
He
actually
tries to
get, like,
fight
the-
the Twister and then just gets picked up and flung.
I think it's actually like the child from the first one was like, I'm not hunting Twisters anymore. It's like, but then she comes, she's getting grabbed
like,
back in.
taking a sniper rifle to a Twister. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
I
Or
think
he
that
spins the
we
other
never-
way.
Killed my
Because if I
father.
counteract the wind, he tries to make his own Twister.
Oh
I
my
need to-
god, you're fucking right. I bet you the finale of this thing will be to create an anti-Twister.
I was about to say, I'm pretty
Intercept
sure
the real one.
that wasn't a trailer. They're trying to destroy a Twister.
with a
Does
Twister.
everyone in town
Don't
just
quote
spin
me on
round?
that. Go watch it.
the
Go
other
watch
way?
the trailer, but I'm pretty sure that's what they said in there. It's like fucking.
That actually makes me want to watch the film now for how retarded it's going to
No,
be.
what have I done?
Yeah.
No, John, you've got to spin anti-clockwise. Spin the other way.
That sounds
It makes me
amazing.
wonder what year it is. We also get another Beverly Hills Cop movie on Netflix, apparently.
That's okay because Eddie Murphy basically stopped aging about 30 years ago.
That's
He
true.
just
Yeah,
paused.
that's true.
Put that on pause. Yeah.
And Bad
Yeah.
Boys 4. I was like, what is happening?
well,
This is cinema now, though. This is all we get.
Martin
The
Lawrence.
The Crow, the reboot, where he
Orakai,
bleeds
man.
black blood.
Yeah. Not
That
got
sounds
high
great.
hopes for the Crow.
Well, you
I
can
heard
already
the
tell
actor-
his girlfriend will be in about half the movie.
You know how like I do a summary every time we do an open bar. It's like open bar 97. Let's talk about the movies that came out in 97. I if we ever get to this point where I'm looking back on 2024, like, fucking hell, like top movies of the year, it's going to be so depressing to like summarize this.
No.
Are we going to cut it off at some point? 2016, maybe?
It's like, I don't know. It would become quite hilarious. Like beyond that.
You're just telling like loads of kids. There was a time in 2016 when we had nothing but shit.
Yeah, that time just never stopped. Essentially, speaking of shit, I know there's also Ryan Johnson's announced his third Knives Out movie. Are you guys excited
Why?
for that?
Why is
I
he
can't
still
take
allowed to
them
make
movies anymore.
Why is he still
Why-
allowed to make movies? He's
Why does he keep getting deals? I don't get it.
He must have gotten a package deal for like 18 movies or something.
He shouldn't be allowed to own
I
a
don't
pen. Like he should just be banned from any type of creative.
Well, apparently enough people watch it, you know. And Glass Onion was celebrated quite a bit for its witty script.
How is it Ryan still making movies and J.J. Abrams is like nowhere to be found? He's just missing.
Enjoying his billions.
I mean, they're both equally shit, but yeah, JJ just kind of took the rap for Ryan's fuck ups.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Nobody blames Ryan for the sequel trilogy anymore, and I'm like, I didn't forget. No, I didn't. I just feel like I feel like JJ in like for the casuals' eyes, most people blame JJ, but I still know what fucking happened. Like Ryan, he fucking threw a grenade in the fucking middle of the room. He fucked everything.
Wasn't that JJ gonna do? Wasn't that the only film with zero problems? Kathleen Kennedy didn't sabotage anything. She went, Ryan, you're doing a good job. I'll let you keep going.
That's Ryan's vision.
It was a fucking disaster.
He fucked everything.
Apparently the production side of things was actually really smooth, and it went quite well. But I mean, that's not really any indication of like the quality of the finished product. It's just
I'll show you how stupid they are. They're so fucking stupid. They go, I think this is pretty good. And everyone's going, yep.
There was no one anywhere at Lucasfilm who thought this could create some problems. I think people might not like this.
No, there was a lot of people who warned Ryan. Like people warned him and he ignored them openly. There's a lot of people who actually tried to do something.
Probably like watchtowers in the studio. Anyone who dared question stuff, she just snapped her fingers and the person was dragged off.
Just like,
does anyone else have any problems?
No. Is she going to be leaving this year? Because it's my understanding that her contract runs out in the autumn time.
Oh, she's never leaving. She'll live forever. Outlive us all.
Clone her. I'm gonna clone her.
She's undead. She's a skeleton. She'll just Star Wars will just keep getting eaten by her forever.
You do have to wonder, like at a certain point, do you think like, okay, I've destroyed Star Wars enough now, I can move on? I don't know.
She's destroyed something else, and then he looks like there's nothing left. Everything is broken already. What do I do now?
She wants to spit on the ashes.
I wonder if she'll insist on staying on until that Rey movie gets made, because I kind of feel like Rey is her, like her baby, and like she just really wants to cement that character. But she'll
do that with Evan. She'll go just 2 more years, and then 2 years passed. Just another 2 more years, and she just keeps kicking it down the line.
Her main goals, from what I see it as, was to destroy Luke, destroy Han, and build up Rey. And she did the first 2. You know, so her last goal before dipping is definitely going to be like, Rey's redemption. That's her baby, like you said. It's just, this woman is insane.
But she can't redeem Rey because she's fucking talentless. She's just gonna get Rey more angry, and then she'll go, "Oh, you hate Rey now," and then she's gonna make like 10 more movies.
No. That's the one thing we didn't want to happen.
It is great, like, because like the one thing they can't do is force people to go to the cinema and watch these movies.
Yeah,
like you can make as many Rey films as you want, but like nobody's gonna see them. So. Okay.
And then they're going to use like Snyder math. It's like, well, if you count these numbers and these numbers, it's actually more successful than the most successful movie ever.
Yeah, I want to go on a maths course with Zack Snyder.
You can't.
Hollywood maths is amazing.
That can't count. Like confirmed. Like that guy is such a dude. The year he's had in terms of his reputation, just getting shot on. I'm so.
Yeah, it's been a.
Can't wait for those extended cuts.
Mm-hmm.
I think
is he still doing the 6 movies? The new kind of trilogy he called it. 6 movies.
They can't. I can't believe Netflix is going to give him money for those.
Oh, I can.
People are watching them. Like, it doesn't matter if the scores are terrible. Like, people are apparently watching the Rebel Moon films, and that's all Netflix are ultimately going to care about.
Do we believe this?
I think movies are only just sure things. People will only go to cinema if it's like a good franchise that's got good reputation. They're not going to risk it because people like movies. Movies are still getting watched just on Netflix.
Yeah, but people don't want their time wasted either. Like if you're going to go out to the theaters, like I was saying earlier, like they have to really earn it now. And the only way they think they can do that is just by pumping out well-known franchises, so people know, they know at least. It's this comfort zone that they need. They're not willing to ripple and risk, watching a new story of some kind.
They wasted their time on Rebel Moon.
The Madam Web sat at number 1 on Netflix for a long time as well, apparently.
Oh yeah, they did.
So at this point, like
movies are top ones.
What's the metric for this shit then? It's like,
well, that's what I mean. Like if you're telling me those, like that and Rebel Moon 1 and 2 are at the top, but all the other library are not able to compete, I don't think I believe that.
Well, also, if I'm going to put my tinfoil hat on here for a second, it's their platform. They can put in the top 10 whatever the fuck they want. It's not like anyone can check. Like, there's no numbers next to it.
So that's the thing that's so weird about this whole streaming thing is like, really? Like, they can just do whatever they want. And like, I don't know. I prefer seeing the box office like that. Someone going out and watching like No Way Home or what was the third Spyro? Why can never No Way Home? Or that making as much money as it did. That really shows something, you know, like that metric where you can't do that with Netflix. Like, I don't know what the hell's going on.
That was the last good Marvel movie.
Well,
I didn't know.
Well,
She-Hulk.
I feel like I'm the only one who got No Way Home.
Some people liked Guardians.
That was not very good.
Yeah.
Which one did you like more out of those two?
No Way Home, easily.
No Way Home, but strictly the character reason. I'm assuming, right? Just the Peters and is there like
I mean, I don't think there's much of anything good about Guardians 3.
Yeah, I enjoyed my first watch, and I think we both started talking about it, MauLer, and it's like, oh no, this is ass.
Oh no,
I enjoyed it, but it's not good. That's allowed, by the way, in case you're wondering.
I think Guardians 3, like the only thing it had was people's love for the Guardians. They carried it. That's it. They like these characters. They'll watch them even in a shit story. It's a little frustrating that we didn't get a better send off for them, though. It just felt like
What was they saying about Kang? Kang is like this amazing Jonathan Majors, amazing actor, absolutely fantastic. Then the guy who plays High Evolution comes across as like 1,000,000 times better.
That guy is one of the best things I've seen in Marvel. Like
he legit sold every line. Like I love that dude.
His look.
Jonathan Majors was shit.
Shite.
He's so overacting.
He's had like 3 different attempts, like in different multiverses and different versions. Like if you get 3 different attempts at a character and they're all shit, every version of you, no matter where you are.
Well, who did he play? He played a Chinese guy. He played a guy with a terrible voice, and he played some weird Egyptian who didn't sound Egyptian.
Whatever considered, he went to clown college or something, or whatever.
Yeah,
clown college.
This guy's just underestimating his clownery.
He had like a couple. He had a couple lines in Ant-Man that weren't complete shit, but then it all fell apart like immediately.
Oh god, don't remember Ant-Man. Don't remember with Marvel in general. It makes me sad.
MODOK, the big face,
MODOK,
big testicle coming at him.
I'm hearing
what a hero! What a hero, man.
Yeah, my guy.
It was just.
Don't be a dick.
Oh, what the fuck, man? Why
that was MODOK.
Yeah.
You say that? The man's dying in front of you. Like he's having
just saved all of the universe, probably. Like,
yeah,
you're in the Avengers.
Yeah, it's funny though because he's dying.
Yeah, it's a funny face. A little pee-pee.
Oh, that is one of the best scenes to highlight. I'm glad you did, showing like the showrunner, the writer's comments on it. Like the fact that that's their idea of the scene. They didn't even know what they had with MODOK there. Like they had to have something meaningful. That's gross.
Literally, I think I'm the only person on earth who listens to the audio commentaries from Marvel movies, naturally. But it's such a great insight to how much they have no idea what's going on in their film. They're just like, yeah, we did this, I think.
We think.
Like, how do you not see that? Catch that in a redraft, the potential for that scene and just the character. And it's just, why are they in charge of these projects if they have this little understanding of storytelling?
Well, it's like J.D. Payne and Patrick McKay on Rings of Power. They're just yes men.
Mm-hmm. They knew
whoever told.
That's how they got the job. Yeah. They didn't do anything special.
They only had. Sorry.
Yeah, speaking of which, we've got some great news for Rings of Power season 2. Are you guys?
Is it cancelled?
Well, not quite that good, no. But you know Tom Bombadil, that exciting character from the Lord of the Rings books that was so popular that they didn't actually put him into the Lord of the Rings trilogy, which was possibly the best decision they could have ever made. Well, he's going to be in season 2 of Rings of Power. And just look at him right there.
It's so funny. So this one is funny to me because I'm not familiar with like the lore with Lord of the Rings for the most part. Like all the characters are not in the movies basically for a long time, or for the most part. So I scrolled by. It's like, what's that weird wizard? Nah, whatever. And then later on the day, I saw a little platoon post like, oh, this is Bombadil. He's supposed to be like colorful and everything. It's like, oh, he doesn't look like anything. Like he's very gray and
looks like shit. Yeah,
just normal wizard man. I wasn't even aware this was like a Lord of the Ring thing when I scrolled past. Like, oh, this is a weird wizard. Anyway, so, moving on.
he's always singing in the books, right? And there's one point where like he saves Frodo's life, but Frodo is still so fucking bored of him that he puts the ring on to escape from him. And like,
fuck this guy.
I'm out of here.
And like, it's weird because like it doesn't have any effect. Like, it doesn't make him invisible to Tom Bombadil. Like, he's just like, "Where are you trying to go, you dick? Get back here."
That's funny.
Listen to me sing a bit more.
He would have ruined.
If he was actually like that, it'd be good.
The entire tension of the ring is just destroyed by his existence. Like deleting him.
It is, and like, because he's just messing around with it. He puts it on his finger, and it doesn't make him go invisible or anything. It's basically got no power over him. And essentially, he's like a game changer. And so there's literally one point in the book where they're like, "Why don't we just give the ring to this guy and get him to go destroy it for us? Because like it doesn't seem to even corrupt him or do anything to him." And Gandalf's just like, I'd probably just forget what the point of it was or whatever. Like, we can't use it.
It was just like, nah, don't worry about it. Let's not talk about that. He breaks everything. It's so stupid.
Yeah, and when Tolkien was asked about him, apparently he was just like, I didn't really have a plan for Tom Bombadil. I just thought it was a cool idea.
Serious?
I got fucking stoned one day and just made him.
Did he really say that?
Yeah. He's not meant to, like, he didn't really know what to do with him as a character.
I read the book and I'm thinking, like, what are we doing here? This is a complete waste of time. Like, everything else is like flowing and like this makes sense. But why? Who's this Tom guy? Why are we still here? Every page, it just kept going, and they never mentioned him again. It's literally a complete waste of time. It's insane.
It's like the first mini adventure that they go on before they get into the main adventure of like trying to get rid of the ring and stuff. And so it spans multiple chapters. It wastes so much fucking time. Like if you tried to put that into the movie, it would kill it. Absolutely kill the pace. And they've decided. But we're now onto the dregs of the fucking Tolkien lore. So yeah, sure, like throw him into Rings of Power season 2. It makes sense, I suppose. So there he is. Yeah. He's going to be.
I think they went, this isn't boring enough. We need to make it as boring as we possibly can, so no one pays attention.
Yeah.
Isn't there more pictures where he looks miserable because he's supposed to be happy, isn't he? And jolly.
He's supposed to be.
He's always singing. Yeah, like. If I was to be super generous, I would say he represents a kind of nature deity. Like, so he doesn't have any like larger goals within the world. If it's summertime, he's like all happy and jolly. If it's winter, he's kind of like fairly inactive.
Like a hippie wizard almost.
Basically, yeah. Like, whether like Tolkien was smoking the pipe weed or something when he came up with this dude, whatever. Like, he represents something that's way older and more primitive than the Ring and Sauron and the elves and all that stuff. Like, this is a dude who existed since the dawn of time.
Doesn't he have a wife?
Yeah, Goldberry.
If she's not in the pictures, do you think she's divorced him and took all his stuff and now he's miserable?
She's gay, and she's found a nymph or something to shack up with.
And Tom is just alone. She took half the hut.
Divorced, widowed Tom. Like, he's just like in the toughest state ever. Yeah, this might be it.
Is that him on the left?
No way.
Jolly Giant.
I think so. Yeah, it's Discount Hagrid.
He's so miserable. Like, he looks like he's just got nothing else to do now. She's took everything. The kids. I don't have enough money to move on. He's just going to stay in his hut till he dies. That's what he looks like.
I don't give a shit about this character, but I'm just looking at this. That's not Tom. Where's the color? Where's the like? I think Reaper's theory is right. This must be like whittled Bombadil. Like, that's the only explanation.
Punished Bombadil.
Yeah, punished.
It's you know what it looks like? It looks like Zack Snyder's Bombadil.
Oh no!
no, it'd be like 4 shades darker, and he'd be holding like a fucking skull or something.
It's gonna be a slow-mo shot of him like marching through the woods or something.
Yeah. Everything is blurry. It's like, ugh.
I'm wondering if because Gandalf's talking to him, like, if there's going to be a scene as he's leaving where he's like, "Hey, a hat would suit you well," and he's like,
"Oh my god,
maybe, buddy, maybe
you look good in gray."
He throws it to him,
and then he says back, "You should have some color on you." And he's like, "Oh." And then we have the
sounds like they're getting gay with each other.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, they look like they just got interrupted.
You joke about that, but like,
who knows anymore? God damn.
No, stay, go with the flow. He starts rubbing his shoulders and he goes, "What are you doing, Tom?"
Let this happen. Don't fight it. I think this is a perfect encapsulation of everything that Rings of Power represents, though. Like, we're going to take the dregs of Tolkien lore, the shit that wasn't even good enough to put into the movies with Peter Jackson, and that's going to be like one of the big deals of our new season. Yeah, it makes sense, I suppose. We're picking the bones, I suppose, of what this this narrative once was.
They're running out of recognizable characters.
Leftovers for sure.
Well, they've only got the rights to so many things, I suppose, and it's pretty limited.
Yeah, you got a speed at which you can ruin stuff. They're probably thinking, well, we've got 5 seasons. Haven't got a lot of characters, so we destroyed Tom in season 2. We destroyed Elrond in season 3.
Season 1. What do you mean? That fucking loser.
I mean, yeah, you destroyed Galadriel in season 1, so that was a pretty big accomplishment. Well done.
She swam the Atlantic Ocean.
They destroyed Mithril in season 1. They fucked everything up. Like, nothing made sense in that first season. So terrible.
The sea is always right.
They fucked up the sea. Like,
the sea
itself.
Why did you rescue her? Because the sea is always right. You go, the sea's trying to drown her.
Well, it's like it's that same scene. He's like talks about his wife, and it's like, what happened to her? And he goes,
my wife. They're like 2 minutes apart. Why would they do that? Where's the editor? Someone help. It's so stupid, man. Oh my god.
I just hope the guy who created Mount Doom is okay. I hope he's still around.
Oh, old man Waldrick or something?
Yeah, he's like, I'm gonna push the button, click.
Disgusting fucking
literally
man
the
like
most
Do you remember when they had to get rid of the one tree that they didn't cut down?
Yeah, that was funny.
And they give you this wide shot, all the trees are gone, but there's this one tree still standing.
They
dig right to it.
They dug right into a tree. They couldn't see it coming.
It just appeared out of nowhere.
And how do you take the guy who was gangster enough to say, fuck you, Elrond, I'm keeping the ring. Fuck you. How do you take a Sildor and like turn him into that little bitch that we got in the Rings of Power? Like he might be the person who got screwed over the most, and we're not even thinking about it. Because it's like this can't be you. You wouldn't no. I hated it. I hated it so much.
Well, aren't you looking forward to Isildur's fake sister?
With the giant tits?
Oh yeah,
We can bring those back. Oh, remember that?
Yeah, that was the one thing I remember about that character. It's like I don't even remember her name or anything. It's just, I just remember she had a fucking spectacular rag.
I do remember one thing. They not only came out at the same time in House of the Dragon, but they did like a bedroom dying old king scene, like just like Viserys. So we had that comparison as well. And it's so shit in the Rings of Power where they nailed the Viserys one. It's just one of my favorite comparisons ever, man. It was stupid.
Didn't they add racism? Like the humans called elves knife ears.
Fucking hell, knife ears!
You stole that from Dragon Age. That was from fucking 2008. You stole that from another fantasy, you lazy bastards.
He literally said,
elves taking your trades.
He had them yell, why can't you people let the past go? It's so fucking like on the note. It's just, that whole scene was insane.
How does
you know the funny thing though? Like I bet they were all patting themselves on the back when they wrote that scene.
Yeah, they were
like,
super.
Oh yeah, no, people will totally, they'll get what we're going for here. But yeah,
do you think they might not get it?
Yeah, how can we make this more obvious?
What was the
that show's gonna be great.
What's the island called again? Like Atlantis, whatever the fuck is Numenor. How does that look worse than Minas Tirith when this is supposed to be Minas like a million times better?
Yeah, this is Minas Tirith on steroids.
And it looks worse.
Well, yeah, because everyone in this show is retarded, and so are the people who made it. So it's a classic example of a character can only be as smart as the person who writes it.
Mm-hmm.
And there's your benchmark right there.
I like the point you made. Take them in.
Yeah. Well, I like the point you made as well about Isildur. Even like this is the guy who cuts the ring from the hand of Sauron. Like literally the guy who almost destroys Sauron from Middle Earth. And he's just like this soft, pasty-faced little bitch Who's just like always staring off at the horizon, like
zoned out, daydreaming. You're telling me he's this daydreaming little twink that's like they grew up to somehow like be the guy who said no to like the risk he took. That just the type of we got one line from him in the movie, and like the amount of like agency he had in that one line, and like the amount of character we got out of it, that he would be willing to do that, even though the risk is that Of course, he's being influenced by the ring, but still, it was just you can't do that and give us this. Like
he looks like a heroic character as well.
Yes.
That's what I think they did so well with the casting there. He looks like the big like armored hero who's going to conquer everything, and he got seduced by the power of the ring and corrupted by it.
Yeah,
which is great, but like he's still got that look about him. Like you imagine this is a guy who could take on Sauron and perhaps stand a chance against him. Like with this dude. Fucking hell, I wouldn't let him take on a fucking caramel latte.
Exactly. This guy, it's just he's not the same. He doesn't have that same like charisma. Your casting is so essential. Like it really plays a factor. Even someone we only had like one scene for, taking that dude and then giving us this, I just don't believe it.
Do you think Tom Bombadil will go, "Hey, Isildur, have you heard of Andrew Tate?" He has to get in shape.
Oh boy,
I like this. Numenor looks like a shitty Mediterranean fishing village. It really does.
Yeah, it just looked cheap. And
$1 billion.
I feel like a lot of people had this experience of like going into the show bitter, but then as soon as it starts, it's like, so there's a horse over there. That's a dragon, looks pretty good. Everything looks kind of legit. This feels like Westeros. What's going on here? Compared to like Rings of Power, where every single thing looks shit. I think the only thing I complimented was the orcs looked okay. Some of them,
but they were vampires. They couldn't stand in the sun.
Yeah, Dracula orcs. Like, what was that about? What was that?
Yeah, again, that's them taking one line from the books and just like extrapolating it into this nonsense. Like literally the books is just orcs don't like sunlight. Like it makes them uncomfortable or whatever. Now it's like, it fucking melts them like vampires.
Now they're reapers from Blade 2. Like what the hell is this shit, man?
Yeah.
How could they ever win a war?
You got to get Sauron
you can't
cloud
fight
everything
half
up.
the day.
Yeah.
How many volcanoes are there? You can't keep pouring water and all the volcanoes on Middle Earth. There's only so many.
There's only so many Waldrakes out there.
Yeah, old man Waldrick. Like I think Dricker, you were gonna say he's the key to everything. He's one of the most important.
Yeah, literally the most important event in the entire history of Middle Earth was just done by a random fucking hobo. He just put the sword in the thing and turn it. Like, okay, this ridiculously convoluted contraption goes off to pour water into Mount Doom and make it erupt and turn Mordor into Mordor.
It's just a wall. They could have just destroyed the wall. It would have worked fine too.
And who built all that stuff? And then like they got to the point where they were about to trigger it, and then they're like, "Nah, we better not. We'll wait."
That's an elven watchtower. Really? It was an elven watchtower, but somehow a Mordor sword opens it.
Yeah.
The fuck is that?
Like they do, there was like some other loyalist who was every day making the hike from like a pond to there with a cup of water. Like, I'm gonna do it eventually.
Drop by drop, I'm gonna have my vengeance. I think my favorite bit from the new trailer that we got was Don Lemonlass, who just he kind of explodes out of that wagon that he's hiding in and does like backwards. A spin midair.
Is he still flipping? He's still flipping around? Fucking elf guy? Oh my god!
Yeah, didn't they want to do more action in this one or something? Because they
that
learned
was the thing that was lacking from
the
first season.
Yeah, there's a seal door next to him. They spoiled. I mean, it's not much of a spoiler, but a seal door's right next to him in the trailer.
Wasn't he like missing at the end of the Rings of Power? Like no one thought someone was missing. Yeah.
After they all survived a pyroclastic flow.
Yep.
Oh yeah, they did. Oh,
people walking into it.
All comes back to me now. It's so bad.
Fucking disaster, man. People running.
Well, diverse regent lady got like pyroclastic flow to the face, and lost her sight. But then apart from that,
they're not burnt. She just went blind. Her eyes look fine. Why did nothing else get burnt but her eyes?
well, her eyelashes, eyebrows, Chris.
All the extras got burned, so...
But you know what it is? They think they're so, like, clever. They go, oh, she'll be blind, so she can't see what her right hand is doing in Numenor. The blind queen. Like, they're so fucking poetic.
It's
fucking
all...
on the nose.
It's like... we say this a lot for stories, but... Rings of Power really feels like it's written by kids because they think this shit is deep and like that's the thing that bothers me the most. If they're self-aware, whatever, but they think this shit is like on par with the Lord of the Rings. That's what bothered me the most. Like, you think this is clever, you think this makes sense, you think this is well written.
I sometimes think about the stone
crazy to me
stuff they talk about in the beginning, and I still don't understand what the fuck they're talking about.
Like rocks are sinky and boats are floaty.
Yeah, I was like, oh, okay.
Open.
Touch the dark.
They make a good point.
It's like a 13-year-old girl that was asked to write Lord of the Rings fan fiction. Like, it's that like earnest desire for like really deep introspective dialogue, but like you just don't have the life experience or the vocabulary to actually do it.
Yeah, you can see what they wanted to do. They can't pull it off.
Yeah,
like, empty. And
why does Sauron get cat eyes?
Because it looks cool.
Yeah, it looks awesome.
Epic. And yeah, I think that the fucking wig memes were just
incredible. Yeah, the fucking forehead up there. It's pretty funny.
Have you seen the South Park episode where they have to destroy Walmart and he goes, "I come in many forms," and he puts a mustache on?
That's gonna be fun. That's gonna be fun.
Yeah, we got that to look forward to.
Who's excited?
Nori is like one of the best examples of shit storytelling in terms of an entire season, and we learned like nothing about her. They did like one thing, one scene worth of development over an entire season. Like
we learned the Hollwood to psychopaths.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
Those guys were curiously very absent in the trailers. Like those stinky, definitely not hobbits. They're like they weren't even in there. I think, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. Well, they've all gone wandering off trail. I think that'd be honestly, I think that'd be so funny if like they all just died off screen.
just a stranger going around. It's like they all died. Shit.
Yeah. I definitely didn't murder them all. It's okay.
I was hungry.
Just one crazy halfwood with a knife going.
Oh no, they all slowed down. What could I do?
He was
no
hungry.
one can keep up with me.
I can't get over fucking Letty, the Black Hobbit stabbing that lady in the foot, the face that she made. Like, that's one of the funniest faces I've ever seen in my entire life. Like the no teeth and everything about it. Like, she's just so perfect.
Remember, not Gandalf. Not Gandalf was like a child all season. Then out of nowhere, he can just speak normally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Follow your nose. When they did that, that's just the ultimate insult.
I just love how, like all season we were like, oh, it clearly isn't Gandalf. This is a fake out. It's someone else. It's going to be Saruman or Radagast or something. And then it's just like, nah, it just is Gandalf.
Yeah.
Fuck it, that's the best we've got.
Oh, all right then.
Yeah, fine. Let me answer a couple of super chats here. John Gates says, much like Doctor Strange loved Christine in every universe, I hate Kang in every universe. Also, come on, guys. Clearly, Fringy will fly in Australian Twister to counteract the American one. They spin the other way down there, just like the water does. He's got a good point, actually.
I think that makes a lot of sense,
Yeah. So we need a Southern Hemisphere Twister to counteract the American one. It's the battle for the ages, truly. Aaron Charman says, oh, Tom Bombadil was a merry fellow. Bright blue his jacket was, and his boots were yellow. Green were his girdle, and his breecher all of leather. He wore his tall hat and a swan wing feather. Now let's see how much of that Rings of Power is going to get right. Yeah.
The shoes aren't yellow. The brown.
No. Close enough.
Well,
you didn't get that right.
Does he have a blue jacket on? I need to look.
Like a lightish blue.
It's a Zack Snyder blue. Washed out. Yeah, it does look kind of vaguely. It's like grayish blue. It's weak.
Do you think he's going to give Gandalf his hat? Because on the first picture, he's got a hat. Then when he's got his clothes off, he doesn't have a hat. When he's in the white.
I mean, we got to see the origin of Gandalf's hat.
It's very important.
It's going to be Tom Bombadil's hat.
Yeah. He's going to win it in a card game. Here's a question, actually. How does Immortan Joe not notice that his most prized possession was lost by his son? He usually kills people who only look at his wives.
Yeah, they just cut away immediately, and there's no repercussions whatsoever.
We didn't even see his reaction.
Yeah,
if you're talking about when Furiosa gets lost.
When she
if you remember, he says, oh, I'm not doing anything. And then they go, well, be honest. And he goes, well, I thought I saw something. So he's got plausible deniability. He can just say, oh, I think I did see it. Actually.
Yeah, Rictus Erectus with his amazing cover story. I saw someone running away, so I thought I'd take a look, but I didn't see anything, so I'm going to go away now. Don't ask me any questions. Bye.
I just thought it was really funny how elaborate the escape plan was, but it was so unnecessary to create that. It would have taken ages to make that wig convincingly.
Oh yeah,
when she could have just ran off at any point.
That
not like while she was in the vault thing or whatever. Once he had taken her out, there was several moments where he wasn't grabbing her. She could have just ran.
Yeah.
It's like, no, she needed the wig. I was like, okay.
How does she hold onto the walkway? She's underneath. Her arms don't even reach around the barrel she's holding on.
I don't know.
She should just slip right off and fell to her death.
I also want to challenge a little girl to make a wig out of wax and random bits of hair in real life.
A few hours.
Can you imagine what she'd end up
Easy.
Imagine this horrifying torture chamber where MauLer's just forcing little girls to make wigs. You're not getting out of here until you make one to my satisfaction.
I'll make it fun. The best one gets $5 to spend at the store or whatever. There you go.
The best one gets to stay alive. All right, let me ask a couple of super chats here, because there's a bunch here that we've had as we've been talking. Samson the Mighty says, Drinker and panel, let's make a bet. How many more years are we going to have to put up with the message in movies and video games before they say that's enough? Go away now. You want to place your bets, gentlemen? How many more years of this are we likely to get?
I don't know.
Forever.
Gonna try it forever. It's probably gonna go down. I mean, it's
like
not making
communism lasts
making money.
60 years, so it's like this could last till we're all dead.
I think as soon as it just costs them too much money, they're just not even gonna try anymore for the most part. I feel like, or just tone it down quite a bit. I guess I don't know.
Would you say it started around 2015? What would be the starting point?
I mean, people point to various things. Like a lot of people point to Ghostbusters, the 2016 one, as the catalyst. You could probably make the argument that Force Awakens had it with Rey as this kind of all-conquering girl boss character who was just amazing at everything. But yeah, probably from 2016 onwards, that's where it really started to kick in. So,
I think within the next year, we're still gonna have to suffer through this one, but by the end of 2025, we're gonna start to see the real transition, because it's the wheels are in motion now. People are fed up. Once the casuals are on board with this shit, or once they're fed up with this crap, we're gonna have to get back to storytelling eventually.
Yeah, but there's always the demand for it, isn't there? There's always the market for it. It's just are you going to supply it, or is someone else going to have to do it?
Parasite is a good example of that. It's just a story. Nobody knows any of those actors. It's just tell me a story, and it was good, and I'm so happy it won the Oscar just for that sake.
Yeah. No, I like this one actually. They still seem to be in the sunk cost phase.
Right.
Jimmy
10
Dante's.
years.
Yeah, it's a long time to keep following a losing strategy.
It's like a gambler. You could keep doing that till there's nothing left, and you get your money from BlackRock. So why would you stop?
Yeah.
And the elections this year, once the election's over, they're just going to go. They're only quieting down now because the election stuff. Whoever gets in, they're going to ramp back up.
Yeah. Jimmy Dante says, Hail Drinker, what are some of your favorite TNG episodes? And do you think you'll ever try your hand at writing fantasy or sci-fi? So with TNG, I don't know, I suppose I'll fall back on some of the old classics like The Inner Light, the first episode where they meet the Borg, all good things. Obviously, that's a fantastic way to round out a series like that. And, Skin of Evil. What's that?
Measure of a Man.
That is a very good one, yeah. That's where Data is put on trial, essentially, because they want to turn him into just fodder to figure out how androids work so they can make more like him. And it's it's a pretty good ethical argument for what is the nature of consciousness and what are we as humanity. And
it's funny to think about because I watched Atlas today and they try to talk about that, but it's more a joke. That movie was awful, by the way.
I've had so many people email me saying like, "Oh, take a look at Atlas and review it because it's so hilariously bad."
It has really funny bad stuff in it, but also just a lot of bad stuff. It's kind of fun-y-ish.
Is Jenny from the Block good in it?
Yep.
The annoying thing is, right, with her, she is still in really good shape and she's still really hot, even though she's old. But like,
it's so upsetting. She's so hot, but she's so bad.
Yeah, it's almost like, you know, she's having to put so much effort in to obviously stay in great shape and be hot, and it's like you're putting her in the shittest films ever with it. It's like somehow reward that, give her good movies to be in, you know? I don't know.
Is Atlas the one with the mecha's non-binary, even though it's made out of binary code?
Dude,
it can only be one and
that
zeros.
scene specifically is really funny because no one reacts to that when the robot says it. They just move on. Like, I don't know what I'm supposed to think. It's like, is this just normal? Does it happen all the time? Or like, oh, that robot again? Yeah, okay. It's just really weird. I don't know why they even included it. It's just so out of nowhere. It's really funny though.
I did like this one. Atlas sagged. What's it? She's 54 and she plays a 38-year-old in Atlas.
Right,
that is bonkers.
True, yeah.
That is pretty cool though. Next one is Samson the Mighty says, MauLer, did you know that there was supposed to be a Spike spin-off show and that the pilot TV movie was turned into a comic book written by James Marsters? Thoughts?
Yeah, there was a lot of spin-off potential for loads of different characters because Buffy was super popular, but James Masters talks about this a couple of times. It's the Franz Rubel Kuzi or whatever, the producers. They have like a ridiculous amount of power and control over Buffy as an IP, and getting it past them was the difficulty. I think the best thing they had at their fingertips was a Giles spin-off, Ripper. That would have been really good choice. Probably a show that everyone would have liked. But never mind. We got Buffy and Angel, and that was it.
Okay. Elsie Le Pen says, "Hail Open Bar. I saw Escape from New York for the first time. I went in blind and loved it. What does the panel think of it? And should I do Escape from LA? No, don't do Escape from LA. It's fucking garbage." But yeah, as for Escape from New York, it's a classic John Carpenter movie. It's like low budget, like very cool soundtrack. Kurt Russell is absolutely awesome as Snake Plissken. It's just a neat little early 1980s thriller, I suppose. Pretty cool movie. I like it. Nothing else I can say about it apart from that, really.
I need to watch it. Never seen it.
It's a good one. You'll have fun with it. But yeah, don't watch Escape from LA.
Surf's Up.
Yeah,
that's surfing. Oh my god,
tsunami, man, tsunami.
It's like the most.
It's so goofy. They've even got the cheesy like Hawaiian surf soundtrack while he's doing it.
Cowabunga, dude! They got the two like motors in the side. It's like the most '90s scene to ever exist.
Yeah. Samson the Mighty also says, everyone, do you believe that actors and directors deserve a second chance, depending on what they've done to return to Hollywood and work again?
It depends. What did they do?
Yeah, what did they do? Did they kill someone?
I mean, I think you can probably exclude like puppy eating or like murdering children or anything from that. But like maybe it's just like they made some crap movies or whatever, or made some like controversial comments. Like, do they deserve a second chance? I would say so.
What about J.J. Abrams?
Even him, right? Say he made a great movie, I'd be like, well, okay, like maybe there's still something in the base. Well, he won't.
Give him a second chance, and he throws in your face.
I'm talking hypothetical here, Hypothetically, if he made a good film, I'd be like, okay, well, give this guy another shot. Maybe he can
ultimately want to appeal to freedom. If people want to give them a chance, like if we were the producers who had the money to give certain directors a chance, I ain't giving JJ. I'd be like, nah, mate, I'm going to spend this on someone else. But you do you,
Ryan Johnson.
If it's not about whether I wouldn't give them a chance at all, but if they got an opportunity and they made something great, I wouldn't discredit it. Like if Ryan made a great movie, I'd give him his credit. I'd be like, what the fuck happened, Ryan? Like you turn over a new leaf. Like what's going on here, buddy? But I don't know. Everyone deserves a second chance. Not Dan and Dave though. They can burn in hell. Fuck them.
Everyone, but
everyone else except not them. Fuck them.
There's glad they died, and I hope they burned in hell.
There's limits to human compassion right here.
Fuck that, Dave. They not them.
Elsie Le Pen says, MauLer, how many repeat catch-ups did you actually do on EFAP?
2, I think. I'm hoping there isn't more, but if there is, enjoy multiple answers to the same question, everybody.
I did like the idea that you went for 2 hours without actually realizing that there was a question you'd already answered.
Too many super chats.
I feel like I'm going to be in the running for having answered the most fucking super chats in the planet at this point, because I'm a part of so many shows that do it so much on my own show. It's hard to keep track, okay? Try to keep them interesting and different, but also suffering from being like, what's your favorite thing? You're like, I already answered this.
Yeah.
Times, damn it.
Check catch up 1708.
We had this the most recent one we did for Open Bar. Like someone asked us a question about like our favorite captains in Star Trek, and we went off on this big tangent for the next 20 minutes talking about it.
Yeah,
it happens.
Well, yeah, people I think genuinely see it as like a game at this point. What question can they ask that'll get a good conversation that hasn't been heard before?
I think the time I feel really guilty is if someone sends like, I don't know, like $100 super chat and be like, what do you think of this TV show? And it's something I've never fucking heard of in my life.
It's like, oh man.
And it's like, fucking hell. Because I don't want to let people down, but at the same time, I can't pretend to have seen something that I've never heard of before. So it sucks, but it's just the nature of it, I suppose.
And then someone sends $1 like favorite Star Trek captain.
Yeah, that's it. We're gone for the next hour.
Yeah.
Yep. Marine Lad says, plans for Open Bar 100, MauLer face reveal or Jeremy Johns?
Jeremy Johns. Yeah, drink it. Just pull him
up with. I think without special guest Chris Stuckman, I think we could bring him on.
Oh,
can we get Movie Bob on? Actually, I think he would love the chance to converse with us.
You're just gonna get them all,
dude.
Chris Stuckman, Movie Bob, all of them.
So, newest episode of Smiling Friends, Nostalgia Critic is a guest star in it, and fucking Movie Bob was so upset. He was like, "What the fuck? Like, the Nostalgia Critic has to be on Smiling Friends? That's upsetting." It's like, "Aww."
That's just the type of cameo I don't like, or something along those lines. He was like, "Shut up."
Culturally irrelevant, are we, Movie Bob? Oh well, never mind. Chucksenhausen says, "Hail chat, I just want to say I'm excited for part 1 of Cobra Kai on July 18th. Can't wait to hear what the Open Bar segment along with Jeremy and Reaper singing its hash brown legendary praises. Also, Hawk is the best." But he is indeed. He is the MVP of the Cobra Kai world. But I don't know, man. Like, I hope they bring it home. I hope they can stick the landing with this one and just give it a satisfactory conclusion, because Cobra Kai has been a great little fun show over the past few years. So, yeah, I hope it gets a good ending. Dr. E says, he's just joined Fellowship of the Drink, so welcome aboard, sir.
Fellowship of the Drink.
Yeah.
Nice.
Paul Stramby says, Disney's Acolyte, the Pander Stone is strong with this one. It's so strong. Mighty, in fact. Jordan Pendragon says, the only thing I'd say I genuinely liked from Rings of Power was the score for the opening title by Howard Shore, because it reminds me of the real Lord of the Rings. I mean, that was nice.
I didn't like that either. I think the Dwarf Kingdom looked fun, like seeing Khazad-dûm.
Khazad-dûm, yeah.
And Durin was likable until he turned stupid. That's all I can compliment.
Yeah. TGV Monster says, hi, Drinker, MauLer, Reaper, Jeremy, Metal, and Jedi. So, hello to you, sir. Thank you. RRTNZ says, I had a dream that Chuck Norris punched me and I woke up with a black eye. Say, wouldn't it be great to do a happy hour or recommend on Dodgeball? Chuck Norris would definitely approve. Cheers.
Dodgeball is great.
Sounds like he was assaulted in his sleep.
Probably
with a black eye, and he's just ignoring that, going, "Oh, Chuck Norris, I think there's someone in your house attacking you."
It's like maybe not my wife abusing me. It was Chuck Norris who came in my dreams.
It's his mum or dad just running, batting him.
Stop snoring!
Dodgeball is a movie I haven't seen in at least 10 years, but I remember it just being fantastic.
Oh, it's awesome!
Absolutely fantastic, yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
We had this that nice little run of movies in the sort of mid to late 2000s that just we're not going to get again. Like just great comedy movies.
Step Brothers.
Can't do it anymore.
Tropic Thunder and Hot Rod I'd put in that selection as well.
Oh yeah, easily.
What ties a lot of these things together? Ben Stiller. I think he's one of the most underrated. Actually,
you know what?
I really like him.
Here's a wild hot take about Tropic Thunder that everyone's gonna be like, "What?" I think it's underrated.
Mm.
Yeah,
Might
And
be.
pretty highly fucking rated, but I actually think that there's more to it, even so, with how much everyone likes it. It ain't just funny. I rewatched it like I want to say half a year ago, and I was kind of struck by how much strong writing there is in it, and how much of a point that film makes in loads of different ways about Hollywood and the characters.
Yeah, I was going to say it's got the real feel of a movie that's made by people who've had a lot of experience in Hollywood, and it's just like taking the piss out of their own industry.
Yeah, a lot of people just say it's really funny, and it's like it's also really meaningful.
Yeah,
we used to have
good
those.
advice. Like, don't go full retard.
Never go full retard. Yeah.
Good advice,
dude. The fucking memes from that film were crazy good, and if I feel like if you explained it today, like the broad elements that came together to make it, someone would be like, "That was funny." Like it wasn't just funny; it's like one of the best comedies ever.
I think if you took Tom Cruise out of the equation as well, it wouldn't be half as good. Les Grossman is possibly one of the greatest characters ever.
They struck fucking gold with that.
In the end, Tom Cruise said he wouldn't come on unless he could dance, and Ben Stiller went to okay, and he put him in at the very end of the film dancing.
And it's legit one of the best parts of the film.
So funny.
It's just the fact that he's got giant prosthetic, like fucking hairy hands. Like,
well, see, and that's the other aspect of that film. It's so celebratory of like action and war movies.
Yeah,
like it has so much fun. It reminds me of Hot Fuzz in that way. Like it has fun with like famous scenes that you're familiar with, but also like lampooning them, but then respecting them as well. We should do something for these films. They're so good. I want them back. Give me
Yeah. Mikey Gussler says, I've been seeing a lot of people on Twitter calling moviegoers dumb and stupid for not seeing Furiosa because they're letting good films flop and are welcoming terrible films instead. What are your thoughts on this? Yes, it's the children who are out of touch.
I don't know, man. I don't really buy that the audience is any stupider now, like overall, than they were when great movies succeed. Were they stupid when Barbie and Oppenheimer succeeded? Because what's funny to me is like that tells me nothing about the audience's intelligence.
Yeah,
those two coming together at the same time, like that just seems like cope. Like you're all stupid. That's the problem. It's all you.
Yeah, like dig a little deeper there. People on Twitter, and maybe think like, is there a reason people are just generally a bit disenchanted with movies and with the cinema and having to spend so much money on it?
Yeah,
I think as we said earlier, there's a fairly complex picture of different problems that are all intersecting right now, and it's just killing Hollywood. It's killing cinema attendance right now. And I don't know if this year's ever going to pick up from it. Like this could be just like one of those glitch years where everything just kind of went wrong, and it might take until next year when we actually get things back on track.
Or we could be living through the end of this era, however long it lasted for
maybe
cinema.
Yeah,
we're entering a new one where, I mean, first of all, get those budgets down.
Yeah,
Jesus. I thought Furiosa's budget was lower than Fury Road. I checked. I was like, "Oh shit!"
Really?
It
was bigger.
It's got the look of a film that was done for sub 50 million.
Yeah.
Easily.
I don't know why they spent so much fucking money on it. But
how much did they spend?
160 million.
Yeah.
Oh man,
it doesn't feel worth it to me.
It's absurd for what's actually in it. Because what is it? It's like a bunch of vehicles driving around. Occasionally they blow up and crash. That's the kind of shit you could do for like 10, 20, 30 million.
I think this subject has come on every single time I've been on Open Bar because it's so important. I think this is the first thing like me and you have ever talked about, the budget. Like, can we just stop ballooning these budgets and just like, why don't we learn from Joker? Like, it's just, it's
minus
such
one.
an important
Zilla
thing.
-1.
-1 is the best example. It's just, they made that for peanuts compared to, I think it was 160 something million for Godzilla 2014. And then -1 was 12 million.
Isn't Black Falcon reshooting half the movie?
They reshoot it again.
Easily,
yeah.
Really?
They're doing it again.
What?
I saw a tweet about it. They're like, "How are you
reshooting
reshoot? Like, what the fuck is going on? How many movies you gonna make?"
I honestly think they should release like all 3 versions of that film. Like,
yes, do it, cowards.
Let us decide.
Haven't they also like rewritten the Blade movie like a 5th time now
that's
as
in
well?
flux as well. They can't afford this. It's way too late anyway.
Hasn't Mahershala Ali left now? Like he is like straight up left the production.
He threatened it several times. I don't know if he's left straight up. I do know this project means a lot to him, but it's just being like the last I heard, it was going to be him and like 4 female protagonists, and he's just like, you know, a passenger pretty much. Like, you know, the whole
Yeah, that's
nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants to see, like, you do that with Blade, it's over. Like, I just feel like people will really not take that.
His daughter winner.
Just don't. His daughter and something. I don't know.
She's the girl who's the key to everything, of course.
If they were bringing back
No
Wesley,
way.
maybe, but no.
Didn't you send me a thing where it was like talking about the Mission Impossible 8 budget?
Oh God,
Where it's like gone north of 400 million because they've done like extensive reshoots.
They
on
had
that.
a submarine error that cost them between $20 and $30 million.
Damn.
And it was I was reading into it. It's something to do with a crane that was moving the submarine or something. It's just like, good God, like one error and it's cost them that much. The budget for that is going to be insane by the end.
Yeah.
No way that's anything but a flop. I think it's almost impossible. There's no way it's making more money than its Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning 7 Part 1, whatever the fuck. I don't even know what they're calling this. I almost feel bad.
It's not going to be Part 2, is it? Like they're going for a different name because they don't want to be too associated with the flop.
Well, yeah, because there's not enough name power. If you call it Mission Impossible, that's strong. Dead Reckoning Part 2, people are gonna be like, what? It's like, oh yeah, right, Dead Reckoning, right.
I mean,
So the
can they
first one's
market this
part
as
1. There's no part 2.
Yeah.
As far as I'm aware, they actually have renamed it on like streaming services or whatever. It's just Dead Reckoning now.
I mean, are they going to market this as the last one? This is definitively the end.
I'm guessing so, and that's going to be their last hurrah to try and. But they're going to fuck this up. It's already too expensive.
Oh yeah,
yeah, and it shouldn't be. It's Mission Impossible. Like it shouldn't be that ridiculous.
That's the retarded era we're in, where it's like just throw another 100 million at it, and that'll make us more. And it's like, who the fuck told you this?
yeah, and who's gonna make that money back? We need to get it back too.
Even Tom would be more experienced than that. Like he's someone who should know, like, to not to make that type of mistake. Like, it's interesting.
Well, I'm surprised because to be fair, you know, if you have a submarine error that costs you as much as 30 fucking million, I guess, you know, that's unfortunate. No one intends that, but the fact that they're doing all of these same things after, no offense, is a Dead Reckoning Part 1 it failed compared to what they were after. So, like, why wouldn't you try and consolidate a little bit?
Yeah. This is not the time for these type of massive ballooned up budgets and fucking submarines and shit.
I'm wondering.
I like the submarine error that you keep bringing up. Like, we had an error with it. It cost us $30 million. Like,
no, I'm thinking about like some guys, like you could have rented out a warehouse. We could just fucking spray paint everything steelish and, you know, get like, did you really need a real submarine? And it's like, yes.
Fucking hell, Tom. Like,
I get.
I know you committed, but come on, chill out.
Maybe it's gonna look and be amazing, and maybe I'll say, you know what, that was so fucking worth it. But I don't know, man. It's gonna be sad to watch Mission Impossible end on a whimper and be like, how it goes.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Especially when we did last week when we did Open Bar, it was like 1996. First Mission Impossible movie came out. 1996. Like a lot of people watching this right now probably weren't even born when that movie came out, and this franchise is still going with the same cast. I mean, it's insane.
Why couldn't we get Fallout again? That movie was so fucking good.
That was good, yeah.
I mean, yeah. Can we attribute some of like Dead Reckoning's failure to just like it was done in COVID? There was a lot of pressure on it. Like a lot of elements were working against it. That one, or are we just gonna say this is just a bit shit?
I don't know, man. Like, it depends who you ask, because that's a pretty contentious topic. I think even chat would be completely split down the middle of whether or not that film was good. I'm not sure how everyone feels here, but I thought it was awful. I was really disappointed with it.
Yeah, same.
It was like the opposite of Fallout. I felt like all the intelligent writing had been yanked out of it, and they did barely anything with a very difficult premise. From the fucking first selection of scenes, when they established the AI has gotten into all like intelligence agencies, I was like, so you're doing this is the Ultron problem. You're not going to be able to solve this. Yeah. And you're going to have to nerf the AI hardcore in order to have a story that doesn't just fold in on itself. Whatever. There's like a fucking 8-hour stream we did talking about it. I don't want to get into it right now, but you know, that combined with a couple of other things. I mean, we talked about this. The major stunt of the film was heavily advertised in such a way that you kind of saw the stunt before you saw the film.
That's a mistake, man.
Yeah.
That's a huge
it was shot in such a way that it looked like it was fake. when it wasn't. They just kind of undercut the point of doing it. Like, yeah,
Plus, they spoiled it. Like everything about that is a botch. Like I respect the shit out of Tom Cruise for what he does, but come on, like that's just I don't know. It's strange the approach he's taking now in this committing this much money to a project like this, especially after the last one failing.
TGV Monster says, I agree with Mike from G&G Wednesday. Fuck George. He hates Lord of the Rings, but Tolkien finished it, unlike you, George. Plus, this guy hates his fans. Get off your lazy bum and finish the book, George. So, yeah.
George.
Yeah, George, you fat fuck.
Yeah, how many days has it been? Where's Gary at? Fucking guy, man.
Yeah.
It's bullshit.
Arcade Stork says, is it me or does Furiosa Chapter 1 have some very strong anti-immigration messages in it? So,
get out of our green place.
Well, to be fair, they just then I don't even know what they came for. Was it they were rummaging through something and then they just leave, right?
Well, I think so. From what I understand,
it was like fruit.
Apparently, this was like a secret place. Like somehow no one found this. Like they just found this place of abundance, which is literally to believe every time they saw someone at their like forest borders or whatever, they just fucking shot them and put them in a ditch somewhere so it doesn't tell anyone.
It should be pretty easy to find because it's literally a giant rainforest in the middle of a gigantic desert.
Yeah.
So like it's literally the only thing that's green within like 1,000 miles.
And they're like a day or day and a half away from them, so I don't know.
They were getting chased, and he was going, "Is that your father chasing us?" And it's like, okay, it's her mother. Yeah. And like none of the men.
Thank you, Reaper. The entire time I was thinking, where are the men? There's no way you're telling me that like a child is missing from the village. No guys came. There would have been a whole group of people. It was. There
was a morbidly obese fat woman in the green place.
It was really funny.
How much fruit
She's just standing there.
I
wonder what they were hinting at there, like
on fruit.
The one place that's completely idyllic and peaceful, and like everyone has abundance of everything, is the one that's run by the mothers. I'm sure it's a total
I think they
coincidence.
established that in Fury Road already. That it's like a place only with women or something. I don't know why or how that happened. They just said that.
I think it's not so much that it's only women there. It's more like it's run by women or something. But then, like when you get to the end of Fury Road, it's like, oh yeah, like the water went bad or something, and we couldn't figure out how to solve the problem, so we all just ran away.
Well, the earth went sour, so they just all went away. How did it turn sour? I don't know. I just said it.
Yeah. Deval says, you're stuck on an island. The only way off that island is to watch every film back to back of either Zack Snyder, J.J. Abrams, or Rian Johnson. There's also a loaded gun with one bullet. I know which one I'd pick. Yeah, but theoretically, if you had to pick between those three filmmakers, who would you watch?
Well, who's got the shortest amount of films?
Yeah,
probably Rian Johnson, I think.
Yeah,
it's definitely not Snyder. Definitely not Snyder. His shit's like just gonna drag. And
even if Snyder's would be the shortest, it would
3 hours
like
of gardening.
I think
3 hours of tilling a field in slow motion.
One of his films is longer than everyone else's entire like fucking filmography.
Do you have to watch both the normal and extended for Zack Snyder?
Yes.
Yeah. That's no way we're picking him then. We
Zack instantly counts. We're just delete him. There's too much.
Probably Ryan then, yeah. He was the lead.
Yeah, sure, get it over quicker. Or the gun. Kevin O'Neill says,
that's very fast.
Kathleen Kennedy, what I've done is going to be puzzled over and studied and followed forever. It will, yeah, probably not for the reason
Seven, right? That's Kevin Spacey's quote from Seven, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
That's so fucked up.
Blue Collar Loser says, it's odd labeling Furiosa a flop. Elemental, The Greatest Showman, did 500 million, and opened low. They were labeled flops, though. Theaters need to give films time to grow like before. I mean, I would agree with you normally, but like I think with the climate that we're in now, like your opening weekend is your chance to make a splash, and if you don't, it's not going to get better.
And this is like Memorial Day weekend as well. It was a longer weekend even.
Yeah, and nobody seems to be talking about Furiosa now. It's like that's come and gone. It's just done now.
I also just don't believe if it makes 10 to 50 over a flop status, that's probably still a flop to the company. They'd be like, that's still shit.
They probably expected much more, but like you guys said earlier, it should have been released years ago, so to capitalize on the hype of the first one.
M8566 says, "Hey guys, sorry if my super chat from last week came off as snarky. FYI, I was just trying to let MauLer know how Star Trek lore built off of Star Trek 6. So, I'm not sure if I remember exactly what your super chat was.
Was it the one where
he's offended you so much?
I thinking about it all week. The one where someone brought up like a correction on how certain things work, and I think I said like I wouldn't even know where to begin because I don't know anything about stuff. Like I think it was like a broader thing about how something works in the world. And we were discussing whether or not I would have said anything in contradiction to that because I wouldn't know to say anything about it.
I'm sure MauLer didn't take it offensively either.
Oh, it's no reason
you
to
actually
yell
said,
about it,
fuck
MauLer.
you.
Yeah. Been seething about it all week, just sending me messages constantly. I'm so pissed off about that super chat, man.
Yeah. No, you're back? How dare you?
MauLer just completely misremembers everything.
I think I don't even remember it. This guy's been like traumatized from this series.
Well, I think it was like if one of you said, you know, fucking Captain Bing Bang did the big war, and then someone says, actually, it was both captains that did it, and you're like, okay.
Right.
Like, I don't
think you are.
You just, I don't know. Yeah, if fair enough, if that's true. I don't know.
Here's a question. Hi, Drinker and Panel. If you could live in any house, what's that? Matity? Little
Matinee?
Matinee. I think that's a typo. It's supposed to be matinee.
Matinee or movie show, what would it be and why? For me, it's the Cullen house from Twilight. The movies are awful, but that house is sweet. Pet the critical doggos for me. All right, well, I can try and do that, actually. Smokey! A
house?
Is he going to come? Is he going to come over here? Smokey!
Smokey's like, I'm not your clown.
Oh, fuck off. There he is. Woo!
Hey.
Well done, critical doggo. All right. Now you can go back to like being unconscious for the next 23 hours.
Trying to sleep.
Yeah. Movie houses, I suppose, that are cool. I don't know. I always thought Doc Brown's house from Back to the Future looks cool because it's just got so many gadgets and ridiculous things in it. I always thought that place looked kind of cozy and neat.
Richie Rich had like a crazy house, if I remember correctly, from like, the old movie.
Yeah,
like a roller coaster.
Just find whoever's got like the biggest, richest one. We'll sell it and then get whatever house we want. You know,
I'm sure Mr. Burns' house is sick. We'll take that.
There you go. Yeah, his mansion.
Yeah,
like you want to live in the Weasley's house, but then you get really annoyed because the toilet keeps moving around.
Yeah, while you're taking a shit on it. Plus, you have to live in a house full of gingers as well. I mean, do you really want to deal with that? I don't think any of us do, really.
They bite you and you turn into one.
A fate word.
What? It's like it's prolonged exposure.
You start getting burned by the sun. You go, ah.
Revenge of the gingers.
What about the house from that one horror movie we made in EFAP movies that just kept getting bigger, but it doesn't look like
Malignant.
Malignant. It just looks tiny from the outside. It's like keeps getting bigger and bigger.
In another room, it's bigger and bigger.
You're talking about Mother, that like fucking artsy movie.
Nobody watched that.
What the fuck happened? It's one of the most confusing movies ever. What the hell happened?
Where's my live stream gone? Oh yeah, so M8566 also says, I just like how Undiscovered Country became more important over time. Remember that? When franchises built on their lore instead of nuking it? Fallout. Yeah, I mean, I suppose that is like it became like a cornerstone of the Star Trek franchise, and yeah, man, an extremely good movie, I suppose.
Yeah,
certainly enjoyed it. Northern English Bastard says, disappointed by Furiosa? Then best check out the 2015 Mad Max game, which apparently is really good, actually. Also, great stream on Final Fantasy VII. Always happy to see my pal Blue as a guest of yours. Yeah, it was good to have him on, man. He was very good, very knowledgeable, and yeah, it was good to talk to him.
Yeah, for good things about the Mad Max game.
Yeah, it's meant to
play
be
that too.
John Gates says, ever play episode 1 movie tie-in game? I got it on PSN, and my god, you can slaughter a whole village of Gungans right after Qui-Gon tells you not to. Oh, cool. This is amazing.
Nice. I'm sold.
Yeah. I'd love to know what Qui-Gon then does. Like, what does he say to you afterwards? Look
Very
what
Come
I
on,
did,
then.
master.
Time to go. Same thing he says at the end of Kenobi. The fucking
Yeah.
that pissed me off so much. Qui-Gon had that one little scene and the whole contradiction of his death with Sabine's existence and all with Reba. They've damaged Qui-Gon and he's barely even been here.
Qui-Gon.
What?
It sounded like you said Qui-Gon.
What's wrong? Qui-Gon Jinn.
Quay. Who's Quai?
Qui-Gon.
Qui-Gon. Quay, Quay,
Quiet.
whatever.
His brother Quay.
Hey.
His brother Quay.
Mr. Luca says, hello. Hello to you, Mr. Luca.
Hey.
Ghost of Drinker's Liver says, with the rate at which Hollywood is declining, how long will it take for The Asylum to surpass them in quality and quantity of film production? I mean, like, you've
They're
always...
still around?
Oh yeah, gotta be.
Oh, yeah.
Great.
They'll do like Titanic 3 and stuff. But yeah, well, you've got like to a lesser extent, you've got companies like A24 and Blumhouse and stuff. Like they're producing movies on very small budgets, but like large quantities. And inevitably, some of them will be successful. So I don't know, is that a better business model ultimately?
Did they do Civil War and it was the most expensive movie they've ever done?
And it was dog shit.
I still haven't seen it.
And a bomb.
Lesson learned: just do cheap movies.
Didn't they say they wanted to switch around their plans to make like more mass appealing movies? See how that works. But I think I don't know, because they want to make more money, I guess. I think they're making like a movie with The Rock right now, about like a UFC fighter or something. I think that was A24.
It's a biopic. I can't remember the Mark something. I can't remember her name, but The Rock should not be playing. Fuck it, he should not be casted in that. He doesn't look the part of
The Rock shouldn't be playing anyone. Really.
I don't want to see. I'm done with him. And I like The Rock, but I'm just
done with it.
I'm just done with him. I can't do it anymore, man.
He's just a
had like a
billboard.
decade.
It's just business all the time.
Yeah, it's just
annoying.
he's shown no passion for acting.
Listen, he
storytelling.
peaked with Black Adam. We all know it, and it's done now.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Isn't he losing like, hundreds of thousands of followers
Oh yeah.
per month? Like people are just totally turning their backs on him. I'm sure someone made a video about this, and it was like they categorized all of his Instagram posts and all that shit, and it was like 85% of them are just ads for his own products.
Yeah.
That's all he is. He's just a business machine.
Look at my
like, he doesn't actually
tequila
have
and the thing. It's like,
yeah,
The
like
Rock-
he doesn't actually have a personality or a life or anything. He just exists to sell stuff to
he's
you.
all about his
People have no
brand.
money.
He's been that
Yeah.
way since like the 90s. If anyone watched wrestling in the 90s, The Rock, he's been business minded since then. This has all been part of the plan, and he's trying to stick.
Yeah.
Like I respect the hustle, how driven he is, but like, dude, this opportunity has just been pissed away to now people don't even give a fuck about you.
And at a certain point, you have to think like, okay, have you not made enough money now? Maybe could you
he
turn
doesn't
your
need to-
attention towards more like artistic stuff or
Try
just
something.
like things that are fun? Yeah, or take risks.
There's certain movies that like that you always have to hold on to them to like hold on to the fact that like this person can act. I always reference The Gift. When people say Keanu Reeves is a shitty actor, he plays an abusive husband in that movie, and he's like fantastic. Everyone should watch it just to see Keanu play an asshole. Like he does such a good job. And The Rock, I saw him in a movie with John Travolta years ago where he plays like a gay gangster or something. I can't remember what it's called. Yeah, it's actually funny. He does a good job. He's not playing The Rock. He's fun. He's got like his whole crew. He's a gangster, but he's like super. He's like
Wasn't he in Tooth
gay or
Fairy?
something? I can't remember.
He was
He was a
legendary
Tooth
role.
Fairy. A gigantic Tooth Fairy. 6'5".
That was pretty much the meme for the film. It's like, would it be funny if he was a tooth fairy? Anyway, we got a film to make on top
Yeah,
of that, I guess.
let's go.
So,
Well, you had him in Pain and Gain, where it's like he's playing a pretty morally fucking bankrupt character who's just out for himself. Like
Penny
very
feels
much
like the
against.
last like acting he did or something.
Yeah.
Like, close to it.
He's
Well,
not.
that's before he
talented.
became. There he was like Rock the actor. Now it's like
Yeah.
Rock the brand, and so
Yeah.
like he he transitioned into something else.
It's a
And
good way to cover it. He
kind of a
did
shame.
actually have some like roles that you can tell that he's acting. Now it's strictly just a product that he's selling, you know?
Yeah.
I think it's that tweet where it was like, oh, him in the beige shirt, and oh, this is from 4 different movies, and he just dresses the same in all of them.
Yeah.
I think that was the beginning of the end for him.
Wasn't he in,
the video I saw as well? It's like where he keeps pretending like he's going to In-N-Out Burger for the first time, and he's done it like 3 times now.
Yeah, I saw that.
It's like, why are you even doing something like this? Why make that your hill to die on? Like, oh, I've never been to a fast food joint in my life. Like, fucking why?
What was
Why is that
Hobbs and Shaw? Didn't he have a contract? Him and Jason Statham couldn't lose a fight.
Yeah, I
that
remember
was
that.
everyone.
It's
That was
in
everyone in the Fast and the Furious movies. All the actors had that in their contract stipulations.
They're all
Wow, that makes-
lame.
apart from Tyrese Gibson, who apparently just became like the fucking whipping boy. It's just like getting his ass
Someone's
kicked
gotta lose.
constantly. Yeah.
It's turned into like when you're just that concerned about your reputation that your characters cannot lose a fight. That's where storytelling dies. It's just, what is this shit?
Well, then it just becomes like a bunch of people who agree to participate in a shared event. Like it's not a movie so much as just like a collaborative meetup. That's all it becomes, and then everyone's concerned about their brand and looking good rather than actually telling a story. And it's just, it's a strange way to make films, man.
Compare that to when you guys interviewed Neil Marshall, is his name, the guy who made The Descent, and he talked about the girls and how they're fucking soldiers and they were in the cold and all the shit that they suffered through to make that movie, and they were all on board for the creative aspect of it. Compare that to this shit where it's like, no, my character can't lose. It's just it's the mentality, the difference in the mentality. Like you should be willing to like suffer and put in that work to get the creative project out, but they don't think it that way anymore.
I'll do one more here. This is from Adez. Says, how do you rank the first 3 Blade movies? So I'll let everyone else give their opinion. But what's that, sorry?
We're all agreed on the third one being lost. Right.
Yeah, I would probably say 2, and then 1, and then 3. Like the second Blade movie is really fucking good. Like they really dialed it in.
I don't remember.
I'd have to rewatch them to know if I prefer 1 or 2.
Yeah, same.
1 is a much better movie than 2, in my opinion. 2 is a much better action flick. Like if you just, it's one of my favorite action movies in terms of just the pacing, and like I'm watching it strictly just watching Reapers and vampires fucking shit up. The third one is nonsense. Well, Wesley Snipes shouldn't have partners. Ryan Reynolds, I've never forgiven him for that. They had Triple H in that movie. Like it was fucking terrible.
Oh yeah.
But the first one is actually really good. The first Blade
wasn't
movie,
Wesley Snipes just CGI'd into the movie?
No, his eyes were CGI'd because there was a scene where he was lying on a cold, like a mortuary slab or something, and they needed him to like open his eyes like he was waking up, and he fucking refused to do it for whatever reason because he hated the director.
He wouldn't speak to me, locked himself in his trailer, and just smoked weed. That's all he did.
Yeah, so, well, that's part of the reason why like Ryan Reynolds gets so much screen time, because he just ended up taking over a lot of the scenes from Blade because like he was just willing to do them. But yeah, they had the CGI his eyes.
He's in a car talking to Blade, and Wesley Snipes isn't there. So he's just talking to an empty car. He's just going, yeah, I know. Talking to no one.
The guy they casted as Dracula, I think that's my least favorite interpretation of Dracula.
Dominic Purcell, yeah.
Oh yeah, he's a shit actor.
So lame. I hate that movie.
He seems like a chill guy, but yeah, not a great actor.
Because he was in Prison Break as well, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Like, he was one of the brothers in that, and again, he was like the worst part of that show by far.
Yeah, the other brother was good. I remember liking him. And
Wentworth Miller, who's I've always remembered that name. Wentworth is such a weird first name.
Yeah, Wentworth Miller.
I think if him and Walton Goggins were in a movie, like I just couldn't handle the goofy name fucking synergy going on there.
Walton and Wentworth.
Detectives. He's just like shouting at him.
Yeah. Chill out, Walton.
I saw a viral tweet, by the way, about I was going to ask what you guys think about Ryan Reynolds. Once upon a time was an actor, and now he's sort of like he's kind of turned into just a Flanderization of himself. Like, he doesn't do anything genuine.
Kind of like with The Rock, where it's he was an actor at one point, and now it's this brand, it's this thing. The Flanderization.
I sort of blame Deadpool for this, where it's like Deadpool is just Ryan Reynolds on steroids, and because it was big successful, it's like it was just encouraging him to be himself in everything.
Would you not argue it happened before that though? Like he'd been that. A lot of people say like Deadpool is just him being him.
Yeah, but it finally worked in Deadpool. That's the weird thing about it.
Blade Trinity, he was kind of the same.
Yeah, but he did play other roles as well, where he actually tried to act. And I feel like after Deadpool, it was like he got the formula just locked in. It's like, okay, when you see a Ryan Reynolds movie after Deadpool, you know what you're going to get. It's just Ryan Reynolds being Ryan Reynolds.
I've never seen him do anything else. I've never seen him in a serious role before. Like, I've only seen him do this from Blade Trinity all the way to Deadpool. But Deadpool was the format that actually worked with it.
There was like a Michael Bay movie that he was in. Was it like something underground?
Oh,
he was in
7 Underground, 6 Underground, some
yeah, so it's like, that was
Underground
less
What of that?
more not like super serious, but like it was definitely not just him playing Ryan Reynolds.
Was that the one where he's trapped?
That's Barry.
No,
I didn't watch that because it was Ryan Reynolds. This is what I'm saying.
That's
Yeah.
one of the 5 movies where people say he acted, and I can
Really?
confirm. I've seen Barry. I quite like Smoking Aces. I think he does a good job in that as well.
he was
Oh,
in the
I forgot he was in that movie.
Amityville Horror
That might
remake
be
as
the
well.
one. I'll give him a break.
I think he acts in that, yeah, because he's got like Ryan Reynolds mode and then actor mode, and it's nice to see actor mode. You get it every once in a while.
It's so funny when we're having
Yeah.
to pick them out and be like, I think he acted in that
He
movie.
Ooh.
It's like he played a character that wasn't Ryan Reynolds, I guess, maybe. So yeah, he could do it. I'm just saying, like after Deadpool, like it became very rare, and now he is just Ryan Reynolds, the fucking goofy caricature of himself.
Because people talk like that movie If that felt like an AI thing, as in like if you not like from a trailer or seeing it or anything, just like you tell me Ryan Reynolds is in a big movie about stuff. You know it feels like the South Park joke with Rob Schneider. It's just like
He's a stapler.
yeah.
Rob Schneider is a stapler.
He's a carrot.
Love that meme. It's so fucking funny.
Well, anyway, like on that bombshell revelation that Ryan Reynolds doesn't really act anymore, I think it's probably a good time to finish up Open Bar for this evening. But I want to say thank you. Thank you to everyone who's joined us tonight. Jedi, thank you for coming in as a late arrival. Like you kept us in suspense there. Reaper, Metal, MauLer, a pleasure to stream with you guys as it always is.
You know, it just occurred to me, this is the
good fun,
exact
thank
same
you.
setup as last time. Me, Metal, and Reaper.
Was it?
Yeah, it was the exact same.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Oh, wow.
Wait a
Didn't
minute.
think about that.
No, that's a coinky dink.
That was
mighty
yeah,
good.
that definitely was a coincidence.
Mhm.
But yeah, thank you guys for coming in for this tonight. Thank you for everyone who's super chatted us. We'll catch up on any ones that we've missed as always. And thanks to my awesome mods who do the great job that they always do. But tonight, for now at least, that's all we got for today. Go away now.
Bye.
Bye.